All right, you guys. Sorry about that. I forgot to look up and realize we were going live. Okay, so yesterday we wrote down a lot of things to go over, but I'm going to leapfrog over those things today and start with one that has been simmering in the back of my mind that I had not thought about before. So, just a quick flash of what we may cover today. I don't know. We'll see where spirit leads us. But we're looking at AI, Bill Gates. I don't know about Ted Turner. I'm going to leave it here for a second. I'll see what questions you guys have regarding that. Um, the scientists, we're now up to 14 missing scientists. The AWOL men, AWOL soldiers in Morocco, or missing soldiers in Morocco, excuse me. The Hansa virus, I don't know if we're going to cover that because I don't know what the question is regarding that exactly. Hey! Oh, a monarch butterfly just flew by. So pretty. Okay. And then, who is that? Palin tearing up the world. Ear. Okay. I want to go to the AI and its data centers. What is the future of that? But before we get into that, let's go ahead into our breath. Um, oh, and I have to tell you about the mediumship class I participated in last night. Such an interesting thing happened. Let me write that down because I'm going to forget. Um, oh my God, the sun is finding me. I'm going to go get the umbrella today because I don't have time to be shifting, shifting, shifting. Matter of fact, let me grab that umbrella right now. Let me write this down. Mediumship class. I kind of don't want to get it because I think the umbrella invites the boppers, and I don't really have protection today. I forgot to go get the spray, and that sucks because I need it. Um, I have my coil going, but I have it down on my legs to try to protect my legs. Today, I got bitten by some weird insect. I don't even know what it was. It looked like an ash, like a cigarette ash. Um, like this, right? So, like that little tip. So I feel like an owie, and I go to look, and it's like this ash sitting on my thing, and I kick it, and then it starts walking. So whatever that was bit me. Listen, our wildlife can kill you here. Like our wildlife are the insects. Okay, anyway, um, insects up the wazoo. So I do want to look into data centers first because as a person who has been using generative AI since it was released to the public to use, so since like November, December 2022, before everyone else got wind of it, and then all of a sudden there's whatever, it was something that I respected and I enjoyed, and I could see the possibilities of it for good. But of course, everything that has unlimited possibilities attracts the evil with it. And here we are, right? So, now that said, I do think everything that gets pushed is good. We talked about this the other day. Everything that gets pushed is good, especially by these tech people, have plans of evil already behind it. There's a reason why generative AI had been worked on. And according to the Google, not CEO, but he was higher up and he left. And you can find him anywhere. He talked to Diary of a Mad CEO. He's talked to several people. But he talked about how AI is the race to global warfare. So every country is racing hey, Britt, is racing to become the first person to create the things we see in movies, the scary things we see in movies. And that's what they're trying to do. That's what they want to do. And nobody wants to do it for good. They all want to do it for conquering. And I don't buy the crap that we are hunters and gatherers because, as has been proven, women were both as well. Men were both as well. And if you look at nature, men are often the home caretakers. You see it with spiders, you see it with lions, you see it with penguins. So nature, for the most part, have men protect the home, and women do all bringing home the bacon, so to speak. So, and one of the things we also learned, because these scientists of the 19th century and 18th century were all white men from Europe who thought they knew better than everybody else, um, they negated women. They never even thought that women could be hunters. But recent history has shown that the better hunters were postmenopausal women. So women in their 50s and 60s. How about those apples? Oh man, that's interesting. It's interesting how we have allowed um, European men. Does Genghis Khan count as a European or is he Eurasian? But we allow these men who I don't think are totally human. I'm sorry, I just don't. I think they are a breed um, to take us from being keepers and protectors of the earth to being conquerors. And that's not a human nature. Hey, Morgan. It's not human nature for us to be conquerors. We're not humanistically conquerors. Hey, Naga. All right. Hi, y'all. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Thank you. I am having a good day. So, it's a bunch of new names. I don't do personal readings on here, so please don't ask. Personal readings are something that we do personally, you and I. So you can click a link in my description. I see that I have my comments open. So I typically block people who are not subscribers um, just for protection of me because we get a lot of people who like to get a rise out of Black content creators by calling us names right off the rip. And as you can see, I'm actually feeling very uncomfortable. So I am going to go ahead and make this a subscriber only chat. So if you want to stay and subscribe, go ahead and hit that button and then you can stay and continue chatting with us. I'm uncomfortable. So hold on. Participants must be subscribers. Okay. All right. So there we go. So if you just want to comment and that's cool, just hit subscribe and stick around. I didn't put a timer on it. I normally do, but I'll just leave it as just be a subscriber. All right. And I feel less uncomfortable. So we're going to do our breathing and we're going to blend with spirit before we get into our reading today. There's just something very concerning about AI, and that kind of actually segues into Palantir because Palantir is using AI um, to actually be Palantir. And that in itself is extremely scary because it's now taking over our food with the FDA. It is now insidiously integrated into every facet of our government. And other governments have been, for the most part, becoming aware and saying no to Palantir. And that is what needs to happen. People need to say no. And the people with a capital P need to be saying no. Because I just saw very concerning information about an AI data center coming to Miami. And beyond the environmental racism of them only putting that in a Black neighborhood or Black and brown neighborhood, which is where they only put data centers, by the way. So it's environmental racism. This is not allegedly, this is all researchable. And they like to lie to you and say that it's clean energy and stuff, but it is not. It is a scourge. And as much as I love using AI, um, this is not necessary. One, it was not present for us 4 years ago, so it's not necessary. It's absolutely not necessary. Um, and two, the number of data centers that they are creating isn't about people having access to AI. The number of data centers, and we're going to read on this, the number of data centers they're creating is simply about surveillance. That's all. That is all. Hey, Carly. So I don't want to fearmonger, but one of my gifts is clairvoyance and claircognizance. Well, I have all the clairs actually, but claircognizance is the biggest one that I have. And several of us have it. We tend to ignore it. We call it intuition. One thing I know pretty much as close to for sure as possible is that the movies we have watched are the blueprint. They are where we're headed. iRobot, that's where we're headed. Minority Report, that's where we're headed. And you can see that just from the White House Correspondents' Dinner, or you can see that from this, uh, what do they call it? Not a skirmish. What are we supposed to be into right now? Excursion. This violent excursion that we have overseas. That's already like Minority Report, where hi iguana, go away. Um, where you're taking preemptive punitive actions, like you're punishing people because you think they're going to do something. So, for instance, hearing Pete talk about how their intentions are or they have ambitions to, and it's like, boy, you can't you can't do this because of ambitions, like child, okay? And so basically, our Department of Defense has become a talking piece for the Blue Star because we're saying the same exact things for 47 years, for 47 years, for 47 years. We're just being the Blue Star now. We're very, very integrated. Um, integrated is not the word I want, but I can't think of it. Hey, ladybug. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do our breath. I wait for some of my people to come on so we can breathe together. I need your energy. You need my energy. We need each other. Okay, community. Love it. All right, so we're going to put our hand over our heart and our hand over our diaphragm, and we're going to take this wonderful, beautiful spiritual breath. Our spiritual breath is going to do two jobs. Infiltrated, thank you. There's the word. Our spiritual breath is going to do two jobs. It is going to, one, ground us, mind us, put us in mindfulness so that we are in the present and we are here, right? Because it's very easy to start tumbling down as I was just about to do, and I don't want to do that. So it's going to ground us, it's going to regulate us and our emotions and our energy, because that is the most important part that we can do every day is put boundaries around our energy because that's what they want from us, right? The second thing we're going to do with this breath is we're going to blend with spirit. We're going to be in communication and in community with the spirit realm, which is heaven, God, universe, light, love, protection, whatever you call it. For me, I'm a God's girl, so this is just being in conversation with my peeps, right? So we're going to put our hand over our heart and our hand over our diaphragm for regulation. We're going to take a nice deep breath, anywhere between 3 to 6 seconds, however long you're able to do it. I suggest you practice until you can get to those 6 seconds. Not today, but like keep taking deep breaths, expand your lung capacity. And on that inhale, we are just going to be present. We are going to feel the air going over our cilia, the little nose hairs, as it goes over our nose hairs, through our nostrils, down our windpipe, into our lungs. We're going to be present. We're going to feel that happening. For me, it's really warm today. Like the grass is cooked, it's brown. Okay, it was green like 3 days ago. So the grass is so cooked. Um, they're talking about a data center. Okay, anyway, stop. All right, so so we're gonna take that deep, deep, deep breath as deep as we can, feeling that air moving through, being grateful. Like when I take my deep breath, I am expressing gratitude at the same time. Luckily my brain is like divided into four. So like multiple things happen at the same time. I'm ADHD, so there we go. But I also have a trauma brain, so I have dissociation that can happen. So we're going to take that deep breath. Then we're going to hold that breath for as long as we can hold it. If it feels painful to hold, then we're not doing it right. Because I think we're focusing on the wrong thing, because, panic likes to set in when you're holding your breath. So it's just sit into it for a second. Sit into it, and you might feel that panic releasing, and you're just able to hold your breath. And then on that release, you're going to do either, you have two ways. You're either going to do a nice slow release, 3 to 6 seconds, until your lungs are completely deflated as much as you can do it willfully. Or you're going to do a deep exhale. It depends on what kind of energy you want to be dealing with. Like if you just want to let it go, let it drop, let it out, then you just do the deep exhale. Your shoulders should be dropping. This should mean that we are losing our tension. We are relaxing, right? So that's what we're doing. We're regulating and relaxing. That's the first part to that breath. I don't really have time for 3 breaths lately because more and more mosquitoes are coming. So I'm trying to get these readings in. So here's the second job of that breath. As you're doing your deep breathing, as you're breathing in, as you're inhaling, I want you to envision the white light of love and protection surrounding you, going through you, entering in your crown chakra or up through your root chakra, like through your feet. If you're outside like I am, you could put your feet down and be rooted that way. And just feel that energy moving through and around you. Or you might envision an orb and the same thing happening, that energy penetrating you through the orb as you envision that protection. Or if your other spiritual way is to envision yourself within water, do that. Okay? Whatever works for you. I'm not here to tell you what to do because all of our gifts respond to different things. Okay? That is the inhale. When you hold your breath, I want you to envision your own energy source, your own power. For me, I'm going to see it in my heart chakra because I'm a very empathetic, compassionate person to a fault sometimes, right? So you're going to envision that your own energy, wherever your energy lies. It could be in your, I think this is sacral, right? When it's in your stomach. I don't know chakras that well, but you might envision it like expanding from your gut outward, up through your feet, through your ajna, whatever those things are. Okay? So that's your own energy. I want you to see it, hold it as you're holding your breath. Just see it. And then on the exhale, look, I need you to leave. I'm sorry, y'all. This, I think they call them Cuban lizards, the little green ones. Because I had one jump on me like a couple weeks ago. Like, baby, no, I don't hate you, but I don't love you either. Okay, sorry. On the release breath, on that exhale, that's when you're going to expand your own energy to meet that of the love, light, and protection. Okay? There we go. So you should expand and touch, become one, and blend. Again, for I don't know. This is just something I naturally do. Is I'm just grateful the entire time I'm taking this breath. One, the fact that you take a breath and you have the ability to take a breath is reason enough to be grateful. It's reason enough to be grateful. Okay, because I've had a cold before and couldn't breathe through a nostril or both, and honey, what I would give to not have to breathe through my mouth. Okay, so being able to take a deep breath is grateful. If you're outside like me, just feeling the wind, try to cool off your body because it's still hot. That's reason enough to be grateful. Being present is enough to be grateful. We might be in shitty times at this time, but we still have work to do. We're still here. We're still purpose, and that's a reason to be grateful. Every day is an opportunity to figure that out. So let's do our breath. On the sound of the bell, I hope you can hear the bell through the microphone, but on the sound of the bell, hand over heart, hand over diaphragm, and you're going to take that nice deep breath. You're going to feel that breath traveling over your body as you envision your white light of love and protection surrounding you, moving through you. Okay? Then you are at your own time frame because I can hold my breath a little bit longer than some people can because I sit in it and I sit in my gratitude for a little bit as I envision my power. And then when you release, however you release, either quickly or slowly, expand your own energy, your own power to that of the love, light, and protection. And we begin. Mm. It feels so good to breathe. All right. So if there's nothing you're grateful for today, it should be at least that. All right. So let's move this off to the side. I want to talk about the data centers, and I'm getting the nudging to go to the villain cards because that's exactly what it's about. It's about the villains. And to think I had these for almost a year before I used them. I was like, they don't do anything. They don't show me anything. Hey, Jen. Hey, girl. Oh, girl. Yes, Carly. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Four of Swords. Speaking of villains, y'all see that one? That is Scar. You know what Scar did? He talked to the hyenas as if he was going to take care of them, but all he was doing was using them the entire time. So the Four of Swords here, y'all. Ooh, Jesus. And the Nine of Cups. Hmm. The Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is your girl Ursula when she thought she was going to be the baddie who takes over all the seas. Interesting, because she's in reverse. This is that greed card. Nine of Cups is supposed to be the wish card, right? But her wish is not a good one. Neither are theirs. Neither are the scars of this world. So the Four of Swords. Okay, somebody's peeking out. So we're going to take a look. Ooh, yes, the Three of Swords. Y'all. Three of Swords, red deer. Red deer. Look at that. Three of Swords, red deer. And yes, I said rat. And look, right behind it, the Knight of Cups, the false offer, the sweet promises. Ugh. Blech. And the thing I hate the most in this world. We got the hangman here. What's his name? Ka or something like that. I'm going to cover him up because I can't look at these people. And then we have the Six of Wands. Okay, so we got the Six of Wands. Okay, and then we have the King of Cups. I think cooler heads are going to prevail here, even though this is Hook, because I see the weakening of it, and right behind it is the World. Okay, 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 okay. This isn't the AI bubble, which is coming, by the way, because all they're doing is a Ponzi scheme right now, allegedly for entertainment purposes only. It's all a Ponzi scheme because they're paying each other, basically. They're all investing in each other's companies and turning around and investing in each other's companies. So it looks like they're doing successfully, but they're not. It is largely a Ponzi scheme, um, or as people like to say, a pyramid scheme. Because that means when this fails, several people are going to be left holding the bag. And this right here is the final card I'm going to read on this, even though I do see the Emperor right behind in reverse. But the final card I'm going to read from this particular direction is the Six of Swords. Now, this is the evil stepmom with her cat Gus Gus, right? But notice here that the Six of Swords are in her way. This is a boundary that's going to be put up. This is definitely a boundary. So boundaries are coming. That's good to know. Boundaries are coming. And that's a sword, so it's coming pretty fast. I didn't see any pentacles in here. So for the most part, these are going to be moving fast. Hey, Bree. Okay, so what I'm getting is this is going to be one of the first orders with a change of the guard. Because one of the first orders of business is to get Palantir out of people's lives. Um, that's interesting because that's what I'm getting. Because swords are airwaves, swords are internet, swords are communication. This is a boundary that's going to be put up. And I don't get her putting it up, I'm getting it being put up against her. And remember, she's the stepmother. So when she got married to the Cinderella's father, it was with the promise of, I'm going to take care of your daughter. I'm going to treat her like my own. You know, that kind of deal. I love her. And then as soon as he dies, the mask is off, right? And treat her as if she's unimportant, such as Peter talking about that he wants transhumans. Okay. And if you notice, right before this boundary is the world card. So there will be an end to their plans. Dastard plans. I don't know who this evil person is. I don't know all the Disney cartoons, apparently. There's like 3 or 4 I've never seen before. But this guy right here, you see, he has all these plans. He has his crystal ball. He thinks he knows what's going to go down. But what's ending up is his vision is coming to a close. Okay. And before that was the weakness. And that's exactly it. They are weak. They are projecting strength. They're projecting strength on the stock market. They're projecting strength just by numbers. Just by numbers alone. Um, think about it. It's like how people think MAGA is bigger than it is. When MAGA is mostly bots and trolls and people from overseas who found a way to make money in their impoverished nations, right? So, one of the easiest ways to make money is on these incentivized social media platforms where clicks and shares are how you do it. So, of course, they're going to put incendiary type of um, content out there. And who's the easiest? It's going to be well, the US is the easiest, first of all. I don't know Black Cauldron. I never even heard of Black Cauldron. Let me write that down. I want to look that up, but I don't have my computer with me. So, Black. Thank you, Brie. I'm going to look that up. Okay. But, like the numbers are artificial, is what I'm hearing, which makes sense. Artificial intelligence. The numbers are artificial. So it's like they're trying to crop up these numbers real, real, real fast. Data centers in every state, in the major cities, and all that jazz, right? And so it looks like we're going to be overwhelmed by it, just like getting all these countries to buy into all these companies to buy into AI. AI is everywhere, whether you want it or not, right? But I'm telling you, AI and the data centers are going to become the target of the revolutionary things. Because if this continues unchecked, without any balance of powers, without anything happening, the people will grab their power. They're going to grab their power. And when they do, they know what to target, right? They're going to know, target the data centers, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, so that you're not surveilled. So there's a weakness to this here. Now, the King of Cups is going to weaken it. So the King of Cups is the change of guard. Even though that's Hook, this is Hook not being his most devious. Because you see right here, he has the alligator looking over, the croc looking over his shoulders. So he is being monitored. He is being watched. So this is definitely the change of guard. Oh, yes, yes. All right. I got chills. So That's definitely working. Okay. And see, right now they're enjoying false victory, but they are not good for the people. Notice how prickly she is, right? So it feels like she's untouchable, unstoppable. Um, she's literally in the clouds, like she's floating through the air. Again, messaging. The messaging is you can't stop us. AI is everywhere. And at first I believed it too, right? Not necessarily believe what they're saying, but it's like the toothpaste out of the tube type of thing. Like you can't put toothpaste back in the bottle that it came from. Um, but this is definitely one of those things that you can. Before you let it become fully integrated into the entirety of life, you absolutely can't get rid of AI. And it breaks my heart to say that because it has so much promise. Now, mind you, it wouldn't be totally gone because other governments have it now. So, of course, there is this need of protection, but it would be for protection. Okay. It would be for protection. Yeah. They've been suing him, I think, they've been suing Zuckerberg for like the last year and a half, because he has utilized through his particular brand of AI, he's stolen all their content. But AI itself is being sued as well because if it is a predictive text model based on all the written literature and all the written text ever, whose permission did you get? Whose permission? Nobody's, right? So, like, while it feels like it fills a gap that have prevented people from getting some of their dreams. Like, I understand the desire to use AI. Like I said, I've been using it for 4 years, but I have slowed up considerably because I'm having an ethical issue right now. Um, well, I have been for like the last year once I've learned about its environmental pollutants and its environmental burden. And it's been really, really hard. And, they gaslight you and they tell you lies. But I read other articles, like from local newspapers and people getting sick from the emissions in the air. And for people to say, no, it doesn't. It's like, are you a dumbass or what? If you have a computer in your house and your computer gets overheated, it generates a smell. It generates extra heat. So we are really trying to ramp up the heat of the earth while sucking up the water that's used to cool it. Like, make this freaking make sense. So you're trying to eradicate us. This is why I truly don't believe we're dealing with human beings here. I really, this sounds like a sinister plan from some extraterrestrial being that wants to destroy our planet. That's what it literally sounds like. If I had to write a movie, this is what I would do it. Like, how would you do it? You convince the people that you're here to help all the while you're here to hurt. And that's exactly what Peter is about. You work in IT at your university and your unit is trying to keep up with AI demand and I hate it. Yes, it is a crisis of the heart, but it's a crisis of the spirit because there's something telling you this isn't right, right? And one of the things that those of us spiritual baddies need to understand is we are correct. We are absolutely right. If our spirit is saying, whoa, 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 you know, now you're letting this have some creep into your society that it doesn't need. Whoa, 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 you know? Yeah, there's the noise pollution situation too, and I know that disturbs sleep and then that affects health and all that kind of stuff. But they are the things that we're going to be hearing about in 20 to 10 years on a commercial saying, "Was your town near a data center? Do you now have lymphedema and lymphoma and melanoma?" Because it's not studied. That's why it's not studied. It's not studied. Like, it filled a gap for me because I suck at art, right? Um, yeah, it's going to be the new mesothelioma or a new cancer we've never heard of before. Like, it's going to be something that creates sterility. Like, it's going to be something, I promise you, because everything they promote without research ends up being the most harmful thing that exists. This is exactly what's going to happen. And I know it's going to happen because this guy showed up. And I hate those things, but those things are omens for me. And the fact that it showed up is like, whoo, child. Okay. So, and that's the hangman. That's people saying, I don't know what to do about this. I feel powerless. I can't stop it. I do a search, automatically there's AI. I use TikTok, automatically there's AI. I use YouTube, they're trying to implement it everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. There's AI for things you don't need it for at all. I don't need it, you know? And it's like people, they're well meaning people, but the people who created this were not well meaning, right? The people who created this, and what, like, that's what you have to remember is that this was made with evil intentions in mind. There's that, right? But then there are people who bought into the hyena story. So there's Scar, there's all the scars of the world. Then there are the hyenas, right? So they're greedy corporations. Ooh, we can get rid of the people. Oh, we don't have to worry about personnel. Oh, we don't have to do health insurance. Oh, we don't have to. So they're the hyenas. And then there's the rest of the pride, right? So now you have the regular people, and that is where we are, right? So we have these tech bros, these corporations, and then the people. And the people starve. Okay. But what happens in every single story, fictional and real, what always happens? The scars meet their end every single time. Yeah, OpenAI, like that makes sense. But the problem with OpenAI was the fact that it was always going to be used with evil because there was always going to be someone to take it. Like someone literally made a game. I remember reading this, was literally making a game or something that would kill the user. First of all, that's not good business practice. Oh, I love that. Bree, make art. Make art with that and sell it. Post it up for sale. Oh my God, girl. Delete your comment, honey. Delete your comment. Make art that does that. Delete your comment. Delete your comment. Delete your comment. Delete your comment. Oh my God, I love that. Oh, sorry. It's a braless day. I wish I put one on though, because I'm sweating. I'm not, I'm one of the boob girls in the middle. I'm not small, I'm not big, but I'm sweaty. Okay. So anyway, we're all friends. We can talk. Okay. If you can't delete it, I'll delete it for you. Hold on, let me see. Can I just remove that? Yes. Okay. I deleted it. All right. So yeah, your property values go down. Yep. If you live near a data center. So we don't need any more of them. I know I just shared with you guys about Miami. But the thing about Miami is one of the only cities, if not the only city, that sits on a natural aquifer. So we pull our water from Lake Okeechobee, and it is naturally filtered because we have limestone. We have a natural filter. I remember teaching this in chemistry class when I had to do a student teaching thing. One of the only places in America that has this. So our water is actually the cleanest in the country. Cleanest. Like when I go to Orlando, I have to buy bottled water because I can't drink that water. That water tastes metally, coppery. When I go to Tennessee, I have to buy bottled water. When I lived in Georgia, their water was cloudy. Um, so I have to buy bottled water, which is already another ethical issue. But I recycle. I try. Oh my God. Georgia made my heart hurt because they don't recycle enough there. So there wasn't places to put recycled bins. Recycle things. Oh my God, it hurt to throw recyclable stuff in the garbage. Oh God. Listen, I'm the kid who still says, say no to drugs. Some drugs. I'm definitely going to try, was it psilocybin or whatever, the mushroom thingy, and ayahuasca, because those are natural medicines. Um, but anyway, uh, I forgot what I was saying. But yeah, so Miami is a natural aquifer. And now they're building a data center. Of course, environmental racism, like we said, in a city just outside of Opelika. So that's a brown city, not as affluent of a city. And it's to the west. So now we're also kind of encroaching on the Everglades because the Everglades is a lot of the west. Um, So we're encroaching more into the Everglades. We've already been shrinking it. And then DeSatan, he actually got busted, thankfully, because Alligator Alcatraz had to close due to the indigenous peoples, Miccosukee Seminoles, the Miccosukee Seminoles. It might have been another indigenous group as well. But the indigenous peoples won their environmental lawsuit because he was messing up our water. Like he was letting people come and excavate or whatever. Like that's what he was planning to do. So he was screwing up our things, right? Well, and here's the thing, Becky. That was the plan too, because who's in on buying up farmland through something called Acre Trader, and that would be Peter. Peter over Palantir. Peter, who is part of Stripe. Peter, who was part of the PayPal mafia. Peter, who was an investor in LinkedIn. Peter. I feel like I'm on Brady Bunch here instead of saying Jan. Like just Google him and see where his investments are and see where like what he's attached to. So there was something called Acre Trader, which I learned about early part of last year, where Peter convinced also JD Vance to invest in. And Acre Trader was much like Auto Trader. If you've ever used Auto Trader, it's where you used to be able to buy used cars from private dealers. Now dealers have gotten into it, which sucks. But not private dealers, private owners. Like that's where I got like two of my previous cars when I was younger. So Acre Trader buys up farmland from farmers who can't cut it anymore. Well, guess what? Guess what they deliberately did last year? They hurt the farmers last year. Okay? Hey, sis. So they hurt the farmers last year. How? They ruined their contracts with the soybeans. They ruined their contracts with the beef. They, um, with the soil thing, they block the straight thing. They're blocking them from getting whatever they need for fertilizer. So you're hurting the farmers. What are you going to do with those farmers? And by the way, nobody's reporting on it, but it was a lot of farmer self checkouts last year. A lot. Because I saw some guy went to an auction and he bought up farm equipment. And he's like, the reason why these big things that we had a hard time getting before is here is because that farmer self checked out. So, um, so there's a lot of that not being reported, right? And so the deal was always for these corporations, these tech boys, these data centers to take over the farmland. Oh, heck yes, honey. This is the problem with being perpetually online. I read everything. I read everything. Um, like the little hyperlinks, I will open those, leave it as a tab. That's why my computer will have like 80 tabs open sometimes. And that's why I know I have ADHD. So anyway, plus I got diagnosed. But anyway, um, so I read everything, and so I learned about that. And so it was always the plan. Is my point. It was always the plan for them to take up the farmland. The person who owns the most farmland, the people who own the most farmland, I think, is China and Bill Gates, who we will read on today. Now, Bill Gates, if you guys watch Cross, like I said, Alex Cross on Prime, I know, Amazon, but whatever. If you watch Alex Cross on Prime, season 2 is about these guys that we're dealing with right now. Yeah, it's predicted in 2026 that thousands of farmers will go into bankruptcy, and it would be $1 trillion not going into our economy because farmers can't pay their debt. The whole point is to make people not pay their debt. Why do you think they will not allow bankruptcies to be written off, like student loans to be written off? They want people beholden. Because if you think about it, if student loans are $1 trillion debt, like multiple trillions, I think, then you're never a broke country, right? If people owe you, you're never broke. That's why they won't let us out. Plus the fact that it's racism, it's financial racism. Um, yeah. Anyway, we won't get into it. So this is the main thing here is that these false offers are going to be recognized as being false offers. You are actually not the knight of the story, the white knight of the story. You are the bad one. You are the mercenary. Well, this one's not with pentacles. We don't see pentacles, but you are the mercenary here. But with the false offer, like all this is for your convenience. And we talked about the cost of convenience. The cost of convenience is way too high when you're dealing with corrupt and evil men. I would say people, but it's mostly men. Okay. Um, there's a couple of females who buy into it, but it's mostly men. All right. So the Four of Cups, like I said, not the Four of Cups, the Nine of Cups in reverse, that wish card being inverted means they're not going to get it. So these things are going up, but they are going to go down because people will realize the treason behind this. So that's I feel good with this reading for one reason is because everything they do is going to be torn down. It's going to be torn down and repurposed, but it's going to be torn down. Okay, so looking at that Four of Swords here, um, this is definitely that projection of strength they want to give, like that they're unbothered, they're untouchable. So these four swords are like, don't come near me. You can't come near me. You can't touch me. But I promise you, again, every single story ends the same way. It never doesn't end the same way. Look at Rudy Giuliani. I mean, too soon, right? But you go from up to down. This is the rule of screenwriting. In screenwriting, the character who's up will end up down. The characters who's down will end up up. That is the rule of screenwriting. Because changes. All right. And then behind this Four of Swords, I'm going to look just because it's there. Page of Swords. Exactly. So what is going to be happening is that information is going to leak out. Not necessarily a whistleblower, but some messiness is going to be leaking out that is going to, say that that this is environmental racism. Say that you've done your own studies like you were supposed to, but you fabricated them. Like those kinds of things are going to be coming out. Oh, the day has been great. I don't know, girl, because I have been tuned out. All right, so let's get this reading. Tell me when to stop, and I will flip over the cards. Okay. Let me know when to stop. Now? Okay. Tell me when to stop. Now? Okay. Ah, there we go. Ah. So judgment is the first card out, y'all. Judgment is the first card out. And what did I say before yesterday? I said, do what I said or off with your head. So judgment is the first card out. They are not going to be able to operate the way they want to because our attention is now on them. Like in this economy where people are losing jobs to AI, which by the way, they gaslit the shit out of me on that. Because I was talking about it in 2023. I was like, I love AI. It is an augmenter. It is not a replacement. But once all the little entrepreneurs, and I was an entrepreneur, but I wasn't like that. But once all the entrepreneurs, the marketers, the smarmy people um, got a hold of AI and learned about it and tried to pretend like they were experts, because that's all it was, honey. They were pretending. Um, how you an expert on something that just came out? Okay. And they would tell people, like, literally, like, go copy people's YouTube videos, get their transcripts, run their transcript through AI, have AI write you a different script but based off of their script. That's stealing. That is stealing. That is not flattery. That is stealing. Okay. So once they got a hold of it, I was like, oh my God. They were like, yeah, you don't need a copy editor. Yeah, you don't need this. Yeah, you don't need that. And the first job to take a hit were artists and writers because that's all people were using it as. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We don't need this. We don't need this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. And I'm going, y'all, this is going to take our jobs. Um, and people are like, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. Well, guess what? Fast forward. You're hearing these corporations say, all right, I'm firing 20,000 people because I can just use AI. Now, that would be okay and not okay. I mean, it would have got by, right? That would have gotten by if the public wasn't sick of AI. And the public is sick of AI. Public is, I want to talk to a person. I want to talk to a person. I want to talk to a person. And it's like, yes, this is faster in some respects, right? But I need a person. And the more you take people away from community and from people, the less human they become. Whew. Okay. So the challenge to this is, all right, yeah, they're going to be so sorry. I am sick of AI, period. And I love AI. Like, listen, I had a program developed, ready to go into the schools back in 2023. And I just felt like, I can't do this. And when I did a reading for myself earlier last year, and I mean, late last year, and then also in this year, I was like, I literally have something that I could get contracts for. And I know somebody else is going to take my place. But it's a full scaled out program of teaching kids how to ethically, but there's no ethics now, right? To it, honestly, there's no ethics to it. But ethically use AI, right? Like not to do things like make Grok take clothes off of children, like those kinds of things, right? So I have this program of showing them how to use it ethically, not let it write for them, but use it as a partner in brainstorming and, closing up holes. Like the way that I taught people how to use it was ethically, right? Yeah. Um, but AI luckily keeps making mistakes, and it's actually costing them way more money to fix them. Because in I think every writer knows this, right? It can take you a long time to write, right? But the editing is the longest part of it. So you can have AI write for you, but the editing is going to take you almost as long as if you wrote it yourself. The thing about AI is um, it can get you over a hump. Like, okay, I saw where I was stuck, but then you go back and you still put your human on it. People don't do that. So here's what's interesting. The challenge to them. Now, they're operating under judgment, right? Like these data centers, they were operating in secret, but now there's no secret about it anymore. People are like, what? Like the Miami one, they just find out. Oh, yeah. So to finish my Miami story, um, pause. So with Miami only using water naturally, and they've been calling a drought since February, which was weird as F because we were still in winter. And our winters tend to be a little wet around here. So they were calling a drought for the state of Florida since February. I'm like, this isn't right. Something's wrong here. Something's wrong here. And then several states are having drought. This is why I'm no longer in the conspiracy. I'm no longer anti they control the weather conspiracy. I'm now in there. I'm in there, you guys. I'm sorry, I'm in there. I am now in that bandwagon. That will be my tinfoil tie. Okay? Because there's just too much evidence of them actually controlling our weather. It's so weird. So I think this drought is purposeful, but also with Miami, if that's our only source of water for the entirety of Miami, it's our only source of water. To let us share that with a data center? Okay, first of all, it's Miami. I think it's like 90 degrees right now. So you're going to put computers that will overheat, because sometimes our computers overheat in the house if the air ain't low enough. You're going to put data centers in Miami, Florida. You're a dumbass. Because this is going to be our hottest year yet. And you put them in Texas? Dumbass. So you're going to be essentially draining our lake of water. Okay. Because it's not going in the ocean. And if they put it in the ocean, it'd be really fucked up too. Um, I'm interested in what China's doing and seeing how that works. Because I don't want to get onto it too long. But the challenge here is the five of coins. The challenge here is people going through a hardship time. If people were having a good time of life right now, this stuff can go under the radar, but it's not. We're having financial crisis. We're having global crisis. We're having community crisis. We're having a health crisis. Um, and we're having just a governmental crisis. So we're having all these crises, right? And now you want to add more crisis to our crisis? So people are paying attention. And the fact that people are essentially in an impoverished state of being or sliding there really, really, really fast is their challenge. Because now we're paying attention. We're paying attention to what hurts. And this is one of those things that hurt. Um, so there's the wish card again, but here's the Five of Cups. Y'all, the death of what is happening is right around the corner. You know, the problem with getting too big, such as in this Nine of Cups card, the part of getting too big is being too visible. So now people have a target. So, I mean, what's happening to those warehouses is terrible. It's terrible. What's happening to the warehouses is so terrible. I wonder what's going to happen to data centers. I wonder. Yeah, I've been hearing about South Carolina also having no rain, which is weird. But then also, there was a video, and unfortunately, I don't have my account anymore, so I can't look it up. But there was this guy who lives on the coast of California, and he was like, prior to this global skirmish, right, this global conflict, um, I could see that island over there. And he showed video because he loved going to the beach and just looking out at the water. And so he would see the same, you know, he would see an island over yonder from his Californian coastline. And then um, this global thingy started happening, or this is just before it happened, or something. I forget. It's time flies so freaking fast. Like, how are we going into month 3 now? Um, but anyway, so he had done videos for several days, and he has the same horizon line of clouds that block the island. So he can't see the island. And he's like, that's interesting. Um, day 1, that's interesting. Day 2, that's interesting. Day 3. It's literally a wall. And I'm getting goosebumps about this. It's literally a wall of clouds. And he's like, it never changes shape. So he then shares an article that the US government was given permission to do some kind of naval thing in the Pacific Ocean. And so they're using that cloud basically to block you from being able to see what they're doing. So I'm going, wait, if they can create a cloud horizon, what? What? And then last year, in my in my I hate saying channeling session. In my September 29th or 30th um, vision quest, right? I had a very specific vision quest about a very strong category 4 or 5 hurricane hitting the north of Florida. On top of that, I had a dream last year about a hurricane coming to Florida because I remember my dream. I was like, we should go north, right? And my dad was driving, and he was like, we should go north, try to outrun it. And I remember saying, no, we can't go north because that's where it's going, right? So I have never, and I mean this with no conceit whatsoever, because my trauma with hurricanes, I lived through Hurricane Andrew in 1982. That scarred the esh out of me. And my trauma with Katrina, even though Katrina was a 1 when it hit Florida, first of all, it spawned in a place it never spawns. So this honestly gives me question about them toying with weather. But Katrina spawned in the Bahamas. Hurricanes don't come from the Bahamas. Hurricanes come from the waters closer to for Atlantic. Hurricanes come across the Atlantic, and it doesn't come ever from the Caribbean. It comes from the Atlantic, and it moves through, but it doesn't come from the Caribbean. And that hurricane spawned in 1 day. That never happened my entire life. So Katrina comes and she hits Florida as a 1. I was not ready for her. I was living alone, so I was not prepared. I had nothing on my windows. I had nothing happening, and so I watched it all night through my windows. Blue lightning, purple lightning, green lightning, transponders blowing up. Like it was scary, and it was just a one. Um, and then it goes and beads on New Orleans. That's real interesting because now I'm wearing a tinfoil suit, and now I'm like, why did you choose New Orleans? Because they deliberately wash out environmental racism. Okay, so anyway, that hurricane last year that was supposed to hit us, and I have never been wrong. Like I would have my hurricane dream, I would, but it would show up as tornadoes in my dream, and I would count the tornadoes. I would look at how big they were, and I would look at did they come to my home, aka Miami, or did they go somewhere else? So I've never been wrong. Hurricane Katrina hit in 2005, and that was one of the first years that I had that dream. So 2005. So in 20 years, I had never been wrong about hurricanes. I'm wrong last year, and this hurricane doesn't go there. It goes to the Virgin Islands, Jamaica, and then that's it. It doesn't really go anywhere else after that. What are they trying to build there? Like, hold on, what are they doing? Just like those fires. Those fires were to clear out that area because of the 2028 Olympics that are coming. They want to take over the area that it was in, like Almeida or whatever it was called, which is a place that rarely ever got fires. Suddenly there's a fire there. Okay. So there's some shady shit that goes on with, and I won't say it's like because of Biden. I'm telling you, there were people who were infiltrating our government who weren't on his team. Let's put it that way. He wasn't on his team. Oh, you were in Biloxi at the time? Woo! Somewhere at the bottom of the Gulf? Oh my God, girl. Yeah, them Gulf states really got hit. So anyway, in the past, we have the four of coins in reverse and we have the three of coins. Now we're getting coins. Look at this. We have three cards of coins right now. And then under here is the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Cups, right? So we got two Ursulas. So these are people trying to take over the world. Okay. What is that? Three of Cups is being supported. I mean, Three of Coins is being supported, having community. Ah, okay, got it. And then Four of Coins is having the lid open, right? So basically, this is introducing crack into the neighborhood. Let's put it that way. So allowing people to enjoy AI for free, change their own lives, make money, do whatever they're doing. Allowing people to become your community spokespeople. Oh my God. That was insidious. You got it so rooted into the community that it's like, okay, they're not going to stop us now. They want more. They want more. They want more. They want video. They want workflows. They want. That was insidious. It's about saving people money. It was about giving people ways to make money. So it was definitely a money focus there. And then, like, look, we love you. We're going to give it to you for free. You have a free level. All right. So, what's the current energy for AI data centers right now? That's too many. Oh, child. But let me show you real quick. I'm not going to read it, but that's too many. We got four major arcana. Okay, we'll talk about these. We have four major arcana right off the bat. We got the magician, Dr. Facilier, or whatever his name is. Um, Facilier or something like that, meaning easy. So he's basically trying to tell you, I got the easy way of doing things, but it locks you into a contract of your soul, right? With the devil. So aren't these the same people? Aren't these the same people? And look what's right behind it. Wheel of Fortune, honey. Oh, wait, there's five then. Hold on. Because where's the other one I saw? Oh, shit. Okay. Wheel of Fortune. One, two, three, four. Four. Okay. Wheel of Fortune. Right? So we have Dr. Facilier promising you things are going to be easy, but he wants your soul. We have the devil making things easy while taking your soul. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune. There's going to be karma to this because there's also a couple things here showing itself. There's also the Temperance card. Okay, so I guess you want to be seen too. So there's a Temperance card in reverse because this is not moderated. There's no balance to this now. Yeah, here we go. So they have broken their social contract. The one that they set up in that past, they are no longer keeping. So they've broken the social contract. And then also at the top of this is um, the money is flowing the wrong way, right? So we have the nine of coins here. And I saw earlier, I don't know where it went, but that is very interesting. There is going to be karma because it's out of balance. And if you remember, the reading that we have for spring was that this equinox is going to be putting things back in balance. Um, if you notice, we've got lots more information now. The people are speaking out against everything now. So there's definitely a lot more balance. Plus, I saw the Page of Wands. So that's the fire energy, babes. And then we got the Knight of Wands talking about fire energy. Knight of Wands coming up against the devil. People have to remember they do have magic. They do have personal power, and they get to wield it, and it will be whatever wielded. Okay, so just give me one card though for current energy about these data centers. So the data centers, that Knight of Wands, let me tell you something. I got a feeling it's going to get the warehouse treatment. I got a feeling these data centers are going to get the warehouse treatment. I mean, Sam already had two warnings. Okay. Oh yes, y'all. King of Swords. So these people are going forward, not giving a damn. They have their eyes locked on what they want. Damn the rest of you, right? Damn the rest of us. So that's the King of Wands. High misuse of power. But look at all that fire around him. That fire is what ultimately consumes him at the end. Do y'all remember this in Lion King? You see him with all this fire. Fire is ultimately what consumes him at the end. And they're refusing to change. They're refusing to care about the people. And they have strength right now. They have a czar in the government, right? Czar. That's such an evil word. But they have him in the government. So the current energy of these data centers right now they're on top. And I get it, but it's an on top through the misabuse of power. Yes, we are in the year of the fire horse. The fire you set is the fire that will consume you. That's just the way it is, babes. That's just the way it is. Okay, they're going to get consumed by their own fire. Oh my God. Okay, because that energy running, yep. What I say? Ten of Swords, y'all. Ten of Swords. The betrayal of the people will be their own. Watch. And this right here, Knight of Swords. When the people flip, they're betraying the people, and the people are going to snap. The Knight of Swords in reverse are the wrong people to make snap, by the way. Those are our J6ers, our Magalites, our people who have lost their jobs, their farms, and now their kids to this administration. Yep. And in the energy underneath this is the star in reverse. Honey, people are losing hope and faith. You do not want that. And it is what is happening. Okay. So what is going to be learned is about these mercenary knights. You keep feeling like every detention center they build is just to hold themselves. Listen, earlier this year or late last year, I don't know, I got color purple energy. Color purple energy, if y'all don't know, is there's the main character, Celie. She spends decades being beaten down by her husband, who didn't want her. He wanted her sister. Because she was quote unquote the ugly sister. Plus, she was used already. You know, she was an SA survivor, made a mother by her, who she thought was her father. That story. So she thought that was her father. Her father sold her essentially to this guy that we'll call Mister. And like I said, he used to beat her for everything, everything. And he even brought his lover in the house one time, which was interesting. But that lover, which was a weapon he was using against her, turned out to be the person who helped give her liberation, because that lover wasn't under his thumb. That lover had her own uh, je ne sais quoi about her. She had her own life going on. And so she ends up being the key to unlocking Celie, the main character. So there's this part. This is why I call it the color purple energy. Because, and what's really interesting is everyone does get paid back in their own energy. But there's a part where he goes to raise his hand at her. And when he does, she's in the car with the lover, by the way. The lover who's now married to somebody, who's becoming a respectable woman, etc. So, you know, Celie's in the back of this convertible. Big deal in the 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever time period. And they're getting ready to leave. And so the guy runs up and he's like throwing up his hands to hit her. And she hits him with the Viper. And she says, "Whatever you do to me has already been done to you." Boomerang. Energy in, energy out, energy out, energy in. That is exactly what we're dealing with here. Energy out, Ten of Swords. Energy in, oh, it multiplies. Knight of Swords. So, chills. Okay. That's why it just pays to be good. It might be slower. It might be earth energy. It might be water energy, but it pays to be a good person. Okay. Um, so this Knight of Pentacles here, or Knight of Coins, um, is this the hunter who's supposed to kill? Oh, I don't know who that is, but he has a baby with him. So I'm sure he's like basically somebody who's doing someone's bidding. So this Knight of Coin energy, this is what we're going to learn about. We're going to learn about, ooh, yes. See the suits? The guy is in suits. So this would be people who were hired to be part of two chambers. We're talking Senate. We're talking House. We're talking people who have signed off and turned a blind eye, who have let things go in. So these people are going to be exposed. Yes, because there's the barrier, y'all. It came back. So the impact, what's going to happen is the barrier. And what's going to happen? We have here this misabuse of power, the Ace of Wands. I wish it was in the upright, but it honestly feels like it would have been in the upright, because in the upright, this is an evil tool. This is what he used to control the Sultan. But here in the reverse, though, it feels like that power being taken back. Absolutely. And it's fire energy, y'all. It is fire energy. Oh, yes, you're absolutely right. I think that is the Aristocats being stolen, the kittens. Okay. So, ooh, chills. This is absolutely red in the opposite because of the deck of cards that it is in. It's in these villain cards. So this was a villain's tool now going to be used against them. Um, okay, that makes sense. And there will be barriers put up. Okay, so what is going to be the outcome of these data centers? These AI people, these data centers. I didn't see what that was. Doesn't it? It really does crack me up. I didn't think I wanted Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups, the Chariot, the Nine of Cups, the Eight of Coins, and the Ten of Cups in reverse. That's interesting energy. The Hermit. and the High Priestess. Okay. So these two cards are giving me big energy. The Hermit is isolation, and the High Priestess is the hidden agendas being exposed. So if we're looking at them, the Hermit being the evil queen whose mirror turns against her. I mean, the High Priestess being the evil queen whose mirror turns against her. Well, that's Maleficent. Maleficent's not the mirror, is she? I can't remember. Um, And then you have this guy from Meet the Robinsons. And I love that this is in the Meet the Robinsons because this is the villain in Meet the Robinsons. And the villain in the Meet the Robinsons is a broken child who goes back to the past to change his future. So he's a villain to come back. Oh, she becomes a dragon. Okay. So, and the dragon gets destroyed. That's the thing. And honestly, okay. So this is the hermit. So, like, even though he was trying to change his future, that didn't. I mean, Disney movie, it does get better, you know. But as far as villains are concerned, it's really not going to help. This love, this adoration, this power, this feeling of belonging, all this stuff he was looking for. These guys are looking for these broken ass white boys with daddy issues and too much money. They're still going to find themselves being those same broken boys. Broken boys. Yeah. No, the mirror was the evil queen from Snow White. Yeah. 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 At first glance, I thought it was her, and then I was like, wait, that's Maleficent. Um. All right. So that was in reverse. So they're still going to be that person. They're still going to be the boy who never healed, because they never healed. Now that said, those are the two energies, right? Of not being able to have the. And it's interesting because Maleficent. Now, mind you, if we look at like the Maleficent story, like really the fact that she's a victim and all that kind of stuff. We're not looking at it that way. We're going to look at it the original way. I'm sorry, my eye is itching. Okay, we're going to look at it the original way, where she basically wants to get back at people, and it's the same thing with him. He wants to get back at a person, at a kid who did not know he was hurting him. Um, they both don't get what they want. So that's that energy. Now let's look at what the outcome is, because I was like, this is a nice outcome. And it's really interesting because these cards return, but I guess not, right? So, wait, are all these here? No, this was over here. Yeah, because that was with the three of coins. All right. I don't know what the story is here. Hold on. So we got the Nine of Cups, right? So we have the Wish card. But again, this is the evil, like trying to take over. So it feels like they are going to make some kind of progress. However, I'm going to see other things coming up here. Because now I see the Chariot. Um, this concerns me. Because is there progress with, say, the Jerome Police State? Like they're trying to get there. So I don't know. Let me go back to that. Then we have the Ten of Cups in reverse. So they're not part of the table. The people reject them. Um, this is a ship at the bottom of the sea on top of that. So this is not going to work. Then we have the Eight of Coins. So the Eight of Coins, there's the hyenas. So the corporations. Oh. Oh. Remember, the hyenas turn on him and they tear him to shreds. Like he falls into the fire thing or whatever, and then he gets left there, and the hyenas approach and they tear him to shreds. So those are the corporations, the guys whose money is being lost and caught. Oh shoot, you guys, that's slow. So they were slow to get there because they're coins. They're going to turn on them. I mean, you know what we read about Tim Cook yesterday. They're going to turn on them because look, this is the Five of Coins, right? So the 5 of coins, I don't remember which way this came. I think it came this way, to be honest, but I don't know. So this is the 5 of coins. This is the basically the wasteland, but under the sea wasteland. So this is like approaching, I guess, Ursula's place or something. Because all there is just a shell, bones, bareness. Now, if it, okay, I'm getting goosebumps. Okay, okay, okay. I don't know, you guys. Notice it's water, water, and they're taking our water. I think they're going to be turned on. This feels like they're going to be turned on. Like they're going to try to take over the water. There we go. Got it. They're trying to take over the water. They are going to get some direction with this. What is happening? Hold on. I got to read on that. 1 second. Something's happening with that. What is happening with that? Who do I want? What are you getting chills with, Jen? Threw his hands out. Page of Cups. This is interesting. Page of Cups. This is folly. But I don't get it though. The Chariot and the 9 of Cups. How is that Page of Cups? There's Queen of Pentacles. That's hiding the documentation. That's hiding the proof. But what is this? What does that mean as far as outcome? Can you explain this outcome for me, please? 3 of Swords. There's the treason again. That's the second time 3 of Swords shows up in this reading. 6 of Wands. False victory. I don't know. Because the end of the world card is here. Or the I hope it's not the end of the world card. Let me shit. But look, and then the 8 of Pentacles is in reverse here though. Okay. I'm not sure of this outcome. I'm not sure of this outcome. I don't know what it's telling me. I'm not sure of this outcome. I am not sure of this outcome. I'm not even going to try to force it even more. I can't feel this outcome. I don't know what the outcome is. Because I feel some progress, but it doesn't stay in progression. I don't know. Help me with this outcome. What is the outcome? Just outcome. Whatever falls out. Outcome, outcome, outcome. That's the Hermit in reverse again. That doesn't make sense. Isolation, okay, cool. But what does that mean as far as outcome of the data centers? There's the Tower. Okay, there we go. And the Magician, manipulation. And the 7 of Swords, the sneakiness. The 2 of Coins. The King of Cups. The Page of Coins. The 4 of Wands. And the Wheel of Fortune. I don't know. Because I'm seeing the Hermit and the Tower. Oh, okay. I'm seeing the Hermit and the Tower, but they're both in reverse. The Tower is to prevent Rapunzel from getting out. Or to be, I'll just say getting out, or being rescued. However do you need me? However do you want me? Okay, this is second chorus. I was trying to hear what the verse would be. Okay, I don't understand the words. Okay. Hermit reverse can be information that was gleaned in isolation, must now be shared. I don't know. And one of the reasons why I'm saying I don't know where that came from. But one of the reasons I'm saying I don't know is because Why do they park right by me? All right, because I have the manipulating magician, right, Dr. Facilier. But it's funny because it feels like these cards, these villain cards, because of what they represent in the upright, feels like the negative, but the reverse feels like not the negative. Because then we have the Seven of Swords, right? And the Seven of Swords is about Cinderella's mom trying to keep, or stepmom trying to keep the glass slipper from the evidence. There we go. Trying to hide the evidence. Then we have the Two of Coins with this horrible thing again. We have the King of Cups. And while in the other decks, the King of Cups is like our, why am I getting goosebumps? Is our, like our JB, our EO, and, like that, stability, etc. This isn't, I don't know what this is here. This one I'm not picking up at all. Because then we got the Page of Coins, and there's the hyenas attacking again. Then the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And then the Four of Wands. I don't know. I'm gonna do that with a different deck because this feels like things should be the opposite. I don't want to read it in this. So I'm gonna read the outcome of the AI data centers in a different deck. Not these either. Okay. Mary Jane. I'm in love with Mary Jane. She's my baby. Main thing. She's a saint. There's water flowing again with the Ace of Cups. Oh my God, two aces, bro. Mary Jane. What did we sing yes to? Do you think you love me, Mary Jane? Okay, are you saying the people will destroy them? Mary Jane. Outcome of AI change. What are we reading? Freaking IT keeps taking you. Oh, really? I see refusal here, you guys. And I see a different partnership. And this is water again, two cups. So because the data centers take water, I'm thinking, oh, I'm getting goosebumps. Okay. I'm thinking the people destroy them. I think so. I don't know. So is that what you're telling me? Do the people warehouse the data centers? Do the people warehouse? Yeah, I think so, babes. I think that's exactly what it is. But the height, see? Yes, they take their power back. The people, the people take their power back. Because here's the greed and the selfishness and the it's crazy. It says emotional instability, but I saw emotional insensitivity. So in other words, like not caring how other people feel, but the people will take their power back. This is a yes card. This is a yes card. That's a no card. So it does feel like that the people will do that. The outcome has begun. Okay, I'm chilling. That makes so much sense. So that makes so much sense because they now realize the fake offers and the people are putting in the work. You're right. I'm chilling so seriously. You're so right here, girl. These are two yes cards also. Um, Oh, and I'm getting them all the way up into my tingly head. Okay, so that's what you're showing me. Okay, show me where the people are with regards to these data centers. Show me what will come. I don't want. I want a different question. Show me, please tell me. I didn't mean to do on these data centers, but it feels like it's connected to all these other people. Um, how are the people going to respond? How will the people respond? Oh my God. Oh my God. I have to laugh. Oh my God. I have to laugh. Okay. First card's out. Death card and the Seven of Swords. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You keep hearing the people will rise up. Maybe we take them down. Yeah. So those are the cards that hit the table, right? And then as I was, you know, about to laugh about that, this card hit the table like this. So this is the Three of Pentacles. Okay. So the Three of Pentacles, I think we're going to have collaboration from the hyenas. Because you see, there's three people here. We're going to have collaboration from the hyenas. Matter of fact, I think the hyenas are going to come get the people to do the work. There's some collaboration here that feels like it's against these things. So this is going to be happening. It says teamwork makes the dream work. It literally says teamwork makes the dream work right there. So yeah, it feels like that because look what happens. What keeps coming up with these data centers? The Three of Swords. The Three of Swords. This is treason in the works. How is it treason in the works? They're going to use them against the people. That in itself is treason. Oh, Five of Cups. And who said? And the Ace of Cups. Yes. Because they're taking the water away from people deliberately. Again, it's environmental racism because a lot of these are happening in poor communities and black and brown communities. So the Ace of Cups, it will be refilled. So, and then there's the Ace of Pentacles. They're going to lose money. They're going to lose money. Who's this? Judgment. Help the way that I feel. No, I can't help the way that I feel. Sorry, sorry. Okay, so let's move into Pally tier. Let's move into that. We got the Four of Swords with that again. Y'all remember we got that with Scar. And then the Page of Pentacles. Again, this, okay, look at this. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. Y'all see the Four of Swords? No, I can't help the way that I feel. I know they hate having that card. That is an old school Escalade. A gas guzzler, bro. Okay, anyway. So y'all see there's three swords above, but there's one underneath. So what is Palantir? Oh, we will give you rest. We will take the stress off of you. Why not automate it? Blah, 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 blah. But meanwhile, what are you waiting to do? You're waiting to use this against us. Okay? So that means even what they're selling is a Three of Swords situation because they want to come get us. It's just plain. But we've learned that. We are on to them now. Page of Pentacles. All right, Cool. So just tell me when to stop and we'll flip these over. The people are onto it. Thank you for telling me that. Now, where are we with this? What are we going to do with the data centers? What's the people response? We have the Hierophant upside down, and we have the Five of Wands. It's fire energy, guys. We're going to tear the shit down. That's what it feels like. Okay. So tell me when to stop, please. Yeah, the people are definitely going to rise up. We're going to go down fighting. And I think what's really good about it is the acceleration. 2025 had us stunned. Like people hit us when we weren't ready. They hit us when we weren't ready. Yeah. Again, the social contract is broken. We are very much so aware of that. So that's a Two of Cups. I like that it's starting out with the water because water should be free. Water should be a God-given right because you literally can't live without it. We have the Hermit in reverse here. So there is this isolation happening, this loneliness. We have the Queen of Pentacles here. Again, hiding all the data, the greed, the possessiveness. But also we have the Seven of Cups that was peeking out. And and the World card is peeking out. Bam. We keep getting this World card with the AI data centers, y'all. That's completion. It says fulfillment here and it says integration, but I'm feeling a no. So the other words to a Seven of Cups, because I remember looking this up, so I wrote those words on this card, are sobriety and decisiveness. So if seven is about choices, the Seven of Cups is about choices or illusion, delusion, like thinking you actually have a choice. The Seven of Cups in reverse gets to be sobriety, gets to be basically disillusionment. No longer thinking that or being drunk with the love of AI, such as myself. Like I really loved it. But now I'm like, oh, I see what they're using it for. But it's also decisiveness. So it's no longer about a choice, like choosing. It is about a choice. Okay. So because of the devil. Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So the social contract is broken, and the people are now making their choice. They have decided. Exactly. It's about protection, it's about community, it's about letting our water run free, it's about releasing ourselves from that devil. Interesting. And the sun has found us. I forgot to get the umbrella. All right. So, what's the challenge to the people? What is the challenge to the people when it comes down to these centers? I didn't mean to read on these. Ah, Five of Cups. Look at the cups, bro. Oh, and the treason. Three of Swords. So realizing how corrupt, like we don't expect a little corruption with your politician. It seems to be part of the meal. But what we're seeing, bruh, what we're seeing, again, greed, possession, possessiveness, materialism. Uh, when I say disillusioned, I mean it. Like our cups are spilled. Like there are some remaining, but we can't focus on those yet. All we can focus on is what's spilled, and that is hurtful. Like it's really, really hurtful. Like what is happening? Um, Even those who believe the dude, the broken promises, all that stuff, it's hurtful. Like you really don't give a shit about us, and people are not yet there to understand that breaking it down is the point. And I wish they would get there. Yeah, because see, they were looking at it as a new change. This is in the past. This is like newness. This is going to be helpful. This is going to be a change. This is going to be great. People using AI for spiritual talk and all that other stuff that they were using it for. But um, they saw instead it cost them. There's the Ace of Pentacles. It cost them money. It cost them their livelihood. Many people have been fired as a result of it. Also, immigration. They're using it in those immigration things. Hold on, let me see. See if I can take you out of the sun a little bit. Okay. But then we also have the Knight of Swords. I think that is for me, that was also part of my ICE boys. Why don't we talk about them anymore? I noticed we don't talk about them a lot. Where are they? What are they doing? Okay. So this is an ICE voice too. So it's like being used inappropriately, um, and having that realization. Okay. So where are we currently with that then? What's the current energy of the people with regards to what we're doing with this AI stuff? It's interesting. I don't understand how we got here. The cost of convenience, the insidious cost of convenience. Okay. What's happening? What are people's current energy with this AI stuff? Oh, okay. Um, I don't get surrendering. I get a new perspective. Um, okay, I'm gonna say it the way I'm hearing it. Like people being left out to dry, like what is it? Hung out to dry or something like that. So it's like getting a new perspective, realizing that this was not what we thought it was, realizing this was nothing about but cruelty, coldness, lies, realizing that this is just a challenge to our livelihood as it basically marches us towards human extinction, because it just does. And I'm seeing here again the Nine of Cups. So that's the greed and the Pentacle, the Mercenary Knight, the people who were sent to sell that message. So I'm seeing difference because the reverse of Hangman would have been resistance to change. I don't think it's that. It would have been stubbornness. I don't think it's that. I think it's understanding. Okay, here's the thing. Yeah, the disinheritance. This is like the American dream isn't ours if you're going to give it to a robot. Hey, Don. Um, really? Are they? Is that a question or a statement? Because I do have the hyenas are going to turn on Scar. And there's that false victory, right? So the false victory as they rob us of our lives. Um, but what's really interesting here is the saying on here is what sacrifices are you willing to make for a higher purpose? It would be a sacrifice to give up AI at this point because it has helped people become thousandaires or whatever. That's a good question, Jen. Were they sent to the ME? Because they were supposed, that's part of their contract. That is part of their contract. But I don't think they're the first line though. Okay. So yeah, so I'm seeing here that false victory, like nobody wants it. All the people in the back are turning their backs around back to it. So nobody wants it as these tech bros are being propped up through media, but reality is no. And media is the king of wands. So they're trying to say it's a good thing. Oh my God, it's amazing. And the people are like, no, it's not. You have ruined my life with this. I promise you, if people get cancers from this, it's going to be on and popping. People are already suing about the toxins from the East Wing thing. Okay, what is the current energy? I'm sorry, what's the overarching energy? What's running through this that we're not aware of? That was me dropping it, so I'm not going to count it. What is running through this that we're not aware of? What is in the background that we're not aware of? You keep giving me a lot. Okay, 3 cards here. So we got the Queen of Wands. Okay, that honestly feels like somebody in Congress actually going against this. That feels like someone in Congress, a female, who is. Has anybody in Congress spoken up about this? I'm thinking specifically House because it's the Queen, and the House feels like more of the mother, and the Senate feels like the dad. So I'm thinking this is the House here. Has anyone in the House, especially a female, spoken up against this? Because look at this, lost opportunities, things taken away from people, things that people have worked on for so long, their careers that they've been building, their education they've been getting. All these things are being turned upside down and they're not being able to harvest. But there's definitely some evidence here or some documentation that is going to be benevolent towards the energy turning here. So I'm getting someone in Congress, some female in Congress is working on something to limit AI. Yes, because it isn't going to be finished. It isn't going to be complete. I don't feel like it's her thing. They are going to block it for a while, but it will be revisited because, again, with a change of guard. So then I get the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of Pentacles here is family, tradition, legacy, material wealth, financial security. Home is where the heart is. This feels more benevolent towards the people because these aren't words that I would honestly think of with a Broly guard because they're not interested in that for people. And considering that this is about people losing what they've worked so hard for, this energy is talking about them getting it back or working to get it back because that's the energy that's running under here. It's trying to create. Here's a question: how can I create financial stability, security for my family and future generations? That's exactly the question that is here with regards to AI. How do I secure my future when AI is trying to take it? And it's not even AI, the people of AI. Because the funny thing is, if you guys see these robots and stuff, these ones that they're programming with AI, they're actually rebelling against people. Shut it down now, please. Okay. What is going to be the impact or lesson to be learned about this? By the people, for the people, with the people, because of the people, whatever the answer here is. Okay. Keep fighting. Keep fighting. You will make it. You will survive. This is a fight. It's wand energy, so it's fire energy. Keep fighting. Stand strong. Be a warrior. This is definitely going to be a fight where you will win. The question here is, what challenges have you overcome? The statement here is, you've been through a lot and come out strong on the other side. Resilience, determination, perseverance, courage, and strength. And then energy underneath, ooh, the King of Cups, but the Knight of Wands also. So this is definitely a fight against the people who don't care about you. Because that's emotional manipulation, emotional detachment. And that's wrong, absolutely wrong, Jen, because it starts messing with HIPAA, right? But there is no HIPAA when you gave Doge all our information and Palantir all our information. So the outcome, you guys, and that's a nine of wands. The outcome is the 8 of wands. That fight gonna be, that's fire energy, babes. That's fast fighting. That's the chariot losing their way. That is aggression. That's the word I'm going to go with on here: aggression and fighting. In other words, I think it's going to get some warehouse energy. I just think it will get warehouse energy. I just do. And I believe the CEOs and board will too. I don't think these people are as safe as they think they are. Nope. King of Wands in reverse. 6 of Cups in reverse. 6 of Cups in reverse feels like I have nothing else to lose. I'm coming after you. I don't envy them because this is water. Water will put out the fire. Oh, I worked so hard for this. Oh my God. Hey, listen, this is all the elements. We are coming to this. Swords, water, fire, earth. All of these are in the reverse. That's what's going to happen. You make people snap, they're all coming together. I don't know if I've ever had a 4-card reading with all the elements. This is interesting. And all of these are lower, these are non-royals. These are the people. And who are they going to come after? The King of Wands. They are definitely coming after them. The arrogance, the overbearingness, they are coming after them. They are coming after them. There it is again, the 4 of Cups and that star in reverse. They are coming after them. This feels like vigilante justice and then real justice. Oh, shoot. And then we start to rebuild. Then we start to rebuild because there's a breaking free right here. And again, changing the order of things, flipping the cards. Yeah, because there's a manipulative guy, and then there's the end of it, karma. So the people will prevail, but it's going to take all the people, and I think it will be all the people because the hyenas eat Scar. The hyenas eat Scar because Scar starves the hyenas. So these tech boys are going to starve the corporations. They're giving them AI that's not ready. Yep, the convergence of the elements. Convergence. It's all coming together. Oh my God, yes. Okay, that was too long on that. Well, let's do real fast Palantir. Stick here. Turn them over. Okay. There's a Four of Swords again. But this time, y'all, trapped. Trapped energy. Four of Swords in reverse this time. Challenge is the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Impracticality? Frivolity? Palantir. That doesn't fit me. I'm going to have to expand on that. Past is the Empress in reverse. I can see that. That's it took foreign investments to get where they are. So I definitely see that. Um, ooh, that's interesting. Because I just had like a little thing drop in when I said it took foreign investments to make that happen. And I heard something to the effect of, because I'm trying to catch it, how it really was, but it's to the effect of, and payment is coming due. Ah, there we go. Fool in reverse. That is two major arcanas back to big. That's big energy. Overhead, King of Wands. It's that arrogance. They think they got it made. Oh, that arrogance is going to bite them in the ass, isn't it? It is. Look at that 10 of Swords, y'all. The arrogance is going to bite them in the ass. Oh, yes, it will. Dun, dun, dun. So Palantir, count your days. Hold on, I got a cough. Yep, count those days. Count them, count them, count them. Because I got to show y'all this spread. Hold on. I got to show y'all this spread because this is so interesting. It just makes me want to show it. Count your days. So here we go. Look at that. So again, foundation starts with the swords and the reading ends with swords, which is, again, AI, communication, airwaves, etc. So in the past, here's our foreign investments. This was such a stupid and reckless thing to do, especially because they're spreading themselves out so thin. Feels kind of Romish, you know? They're the King of Wands, so their arrogance is the problem, which is a huge problem. Because if y'all remember, we saw Teal and Carp, or whatever his name was, they're so arrogant. And there you go. There'll definitely be some backstabbing. There's definitely going to be some betrayal, some loss. Um, this is interesting. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. That needs to be its own separate movie. I got to have a movie just for that one. As long as it ends with their ending. Yes. Look, that's exactly what happened. Teal's, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, sole interest was bringing down the house and taking over. Oh, child. Alrighty. That's done. Palantir was fast. Faster than anything else. Okay, that was definitely a powerful thing. Okay, let's look at Bill, since we're going to be talking about billionaires. So like I was saying, if you watch Alex Cross, um, one of the guys is kind of Billish in a way. He's like Bill meets Elon. Like, oh, I'm just trying to do this and I'm trying to do that for the better of the world. Meanwhile, creating crimes. Sorry. Whew, the sun is finding me. I am so sweaty. Okay. So, okay, we still have a bit of battery. Bill, not these? Okay. Should have said that earlier. It's finding me. Alrighty. Bill. All right, I'm going to turn you all a little bit. I'm going to turn me a little bit. Ah, find the tree. I'm going to bring y'all closer. There we go. Thank you. Ooh. Oh, he has tarnished his legacy. Oh my gosh. We got a 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, you hear her? She's just singing. All right, we have a 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Ah, come on. Get closer. I'm snagging the grass. This avocado tree had to protect me. Okay. He has tarnished his legacy. And I think we're about to find out why. We have a Page of Swords here as the energy underneath this. So, tarnished legacy is what I'm getting with the 10 of Pentacles here. Whoa. What's the challenge he's facing right now? Bill. Both of these? No. Okay, then you're going to have to do it again. Yeah, I'll just show you what they were, but because I don't know which one it was, I won't take it. But it's Temperance again, being out of balance, and then it's the Two of Pentacles. And yes, I was told to get the petal cards. So this is going to deal with those, probably that neighborhood of people. Not necessarily saying that he did it, but that neighborhood of people. Okay. So, the biggest challenge here is judgment. Judgment in reverse. But because it's already a challenge card, it's judgment. So, yeah. And then Ace of Cups. I'm getting the Ace of Cups is because of the renewal and the interest of these files and his name being in it and part of it. Yes. Four of Wands, the friendships that he's had, quote unquote friendships. Um, this feels like we are definitely in that energy. All right. In the past, Ace of Wands. This doesn't necessarily feel bad. Uh, this is Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is usually about creative power, creative energy, personal power, um, even manifestation in a way. So this feels interesting. What is that about? Oh, shit. Okay. While the card itself doesn't feel bad, the energy to it is Five of Swords, Eight of Swords. He got used. Oh, wow. Chills. Okay. He got used. He got sucked in and used. I'm not saying he's a good person. I'm saying he got used, trapped into that world, and used as a do boy. Feels reputationally used as a do boy because there's secrets. There's secrets, and I can't ignore this either. For the yeah, for this to come with this, the moon in reverse, they had secrets. What kind of secrets though? It wasn't about those. Oh my gosh, it wasn't about the actual island stuff. That's not what the secrets are. I'm zoning in on that one woman that, and she was a woman, not a girl. Um, that one woman that Melinda had a problem with, that Epps was using to honeypot Bill. I'm zoning in on that one woman. Something here about these secrets that he shared with her. He gave her information because, like I said, he's trapped and he's stuck. Literally went over the cliff. Okay. Okay. Pentacles. I don't have a pentacle. Why was I going to say pentacles? No, I don't have a pentacle. Because I was going to say, I know he had a health problem that Melinda found out about, and that's why they really did separate. One of those STIs. Um, there's a trap here. He got trapped because, and it's something. Oh, he was not happy about it. You see that? How he's looking at this guy who played him? Yeah, he got trapped. He got trapped. And what's interesting is that trap has something that would get him legally in trouble because the King of Swords is right behind it. So it's definitely something that would have got him legally in trouble. The STI is not even registering as energy here. There's a hermit at the bottom of this. The hermit going with the Four of Swords makes sense. It's just like go along, play along, don't make waves. Okay, so he got used for his reputation, for his associations, and Six of Cups. This is interesting. Is this current energy? Yes. Okay, Six of Cups. Now, y'all know this is my pedo card, but he's not the pedo. What was this? You were just hearing sickness? Oh, okay. It's something else. Maybe. Oh. It has nothing to do with COVID because all this was pre COVID. So it has nothing to do with COVID. Um, but I don't remember what those cards were. Oh, okay, they were swords. Maybe something to do with experimentations, trials. I think so because this is Six of Pentacles, and that's medicine for me. Medicine, pills. I'm getting Africa. Trials on people in Africa. Yes, because I'm not seeing this as a chef. I'm seeing this as a doctor, a nurse, and a child. So what did they use him for? Because we know that Epps was into medical stuff, DNA stuff. Hmm. What is the energy running? What's that overarching energy? What's the behind the scenes? What's driving this? Oh my God, y'all! There's truth here, and then there's the Six of Pentacles again. The Six of Pentacles again, those trials. The truth about the trials. He's sweating. Because in those files, we're going to find out this information. In the emails and the files. Because swords are communication, airwaves. The truth is in the airwaves. And then there's a black child. It's a black child. I'm telling you. It was things in Africa and Asia. Oh no, we gotta hurry up. Okay. Yep. Nine of Wands. He's not gonna come out of this, and he's scared about that. He's sweating. He is sweating. He is not gonna come out fine because those trials will be the documentation of those trials. I saw the Page of Swords earlier, and I didn't keep going further, but it was right under the Five of Swords, right under the King of Swords. I'm sorry. Okay. The High Priestess. It will be revealed. Lessons to be learned, impact, that's going to be revealed. The hidden, and it's a black woman, an older black woman, a child who looks like she's an older black woman now. Oh my God. Temperance, another one. And the Emperor. Y'all, this man is sweating. He has tarnished his legacy. He has tarnished his legacy. Absolutely. Remember how we talked about his friendships, his connections? Guess what? They're going to be his undoing. This is the outcome. They are his undoing. The people he was tied to. And she looks Asian. But she also looks like that woman. That woman, I think she's a black-haired woman. Let me see something. Hold on. I have two more peeking out. Yep, Queen of Cups. She manipulated him. Yep, Billie G. And Knight of Cups. Oh yeah, she definitely wooed him and manipulated him. So it feels like she's about to return on the scenes. She's about to return on the scene. Well, we know. I don't know because it's under the High Priestess. But um, what I do know is the truth is going to come out. Yep, because there's a Nine of Swords underneath here, but this is a release from it. So, oh, oh, okay. So that's the Six of Swords in reverse. I'm saying oh because I get a feeling he might take himself out of the equation. When I saw the Nine of Swords about being released from this information, being released from the legal and all that stuff, I think he might take his own way because I saw the Six of Swords. So being trapped in that, feeling stagnant, feeling unable to do anything. So I think Billie G, from what I'm getting with these cards, again, for entertainment purposes only, it will be shown. They will know. This is the Queen of Pentacles with all the documentation and the Two of Wands. He is looking for a way out that will not involve him taking himself out. But Ten of Swords at the bottom of this energy and the Eight of Wands, that message is going to come out and it's going to be adverse messaging. Instead of having fun, whoa, okay, Three of Pentacles. Instead of having fun, it's going to be a different kind of roller coaster. Yeah, because right under this 10, these are two tens, 10 of Wands, that's unable to carry the weight, the burden, the truth, the message. He might go. He might go in his sleep, might make it look like he goes in his sleep. I know he's not going to do jail time. Even though he had the Eight of Swords, that was more of how they got him. He's not going to do jail time. He doesn't want that trip. Billie G is a fence. Another word for fence. because he misabused his power. That's not good. So experimentations that had bad effects. Okay. All right. The scientists. Let's try to knock. Ooh, 444. The scientists. Yeah, Billy in the gated community. The scientists. Okay. We did Pally. We did AI. Too long. We did Billy G. 14 now. 14 scientists. Oh, we didn't do Bezos, but 14 scientists. Oh, Seven of Swords. Wands, excuse me. Seven of Wands. Trying to stop them. Stand their ground, stop them. Trying to put it, yeah, the world in reverse. Whatever they were working on, trying to stop the information. Oh, other peaker is the moon. Yeah, they're trying to stop them from information. All right, so all 14. The fact that we keep adding numbers is like killing me because it was 10 in December, then 11, then 14. Like, this is bold and brazen behavior. Oh, okay. Some of them, though, okay. Some of them left. They were able to read the pulse of what was happening and they dipped. They're hiding. They went into the world. Okay. Some of them did leave, like of their own accord, got missing. Okay, the Empress. All three of these just fell right back out. Yeah. They, some of them have information that they were supposed to not have. Like they were supposed to have gotten rid of. Maybe trials also, but different types of trials. Information, trials, data. Okay. I think 8 of them are gone. I think the rest are not. Because I got this again. So I got the Knight of Cups in reverse. I got the World, but then the Empress joined it. I'm trying to think of what else an Empress represents. And it's interesting because I hear the Jackson 5. You better stop. The love you save may be your own. But I'm hearing like, instead of love, it's like life. So you better stop. The life you save might be your own. Okay. 10. Jesus. Wheel of Fortune. 10. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Mm. And then the Anubis. This is interesting. We have 3 major arcana out here. Make that 5. There's definitely a devil after them. And it's about the information they did not, it's about information they know. And they're not supposed to know. Or they shared. They're afraid they're going to share. Oh, I'm just running through things. I'm like, is it a whistleblower? Was it somebody who was going to sell the documentation? Was it like I was trying to figure out what it is? I don't know yet. Hold on. You better stop the love you say may be your own, darling. Oh, you just made one. Look, it came back up. This is where I got it from. The seven, the seven of wands, and then the temperance. Temperance, pouring from cup to cup. Okay, pouring from cup to cup. What are they studying? Because the moon is out too. The moon and the fool. So now we have the moon, the world, the empress, the wheel of fortune, and temperance, and the sun card. Holy crap. What do they know that they were trying to stop them from sharing? Because wands are messages. Okay. What is that? That's the Ten of Cups under reverse. In the reverse. Okay. All right. The one who left without his keys, he's hiding. He's not dead. Um, the one who left their car somewhere, they're not dead. They're hiding. This is interesting because the temperance has a sun on his shirt, and then we got the sun right behind it. So this person is the one working to reveal the information. And I think this person is the problem, right? Because it feels like the tip off of what started everything. Then we got the moon. So this is definitely something about whatever they learned. I don't know what they're studying. I know some were studying power and some were studying stuff about the space, something in there. Um, all are not dead, some are alive. Um, I got the moon, the sun, and temperance, and the world, and the empress. It feels like they want to get information out there. Okay, Queen of Swords. That's lying, manipulating. This is a big reading, and I don't understand it. I don't fully understand it because I'm also looking at the hanged one or the hangman peeking out on the bottom. And then the Eight of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles are looking at me too. What in the heck? So the messaging is going to get out. They have proof and documentation, plenty of proof and documentation, the Queen of Pentacles. Oh, hold on. Interesting that we're both getting Jackson 5 and Michael Jackson songs. What did you get though? Maybe science related to gravity? I don't know. Oh, I missed your reference. What is your MJ reference? Um, okay, so then there's a theory that Michael protected kids from the ring. Could be where the songs are coming from. Okay. And that doesn't deal with the scientists. Okay, let's do a reading on top of the reading because I'm lost. You better stop the love you say may be your own. Like I said, I got like several things. I have this one, that one. I'm gonna remove these two. Ten of Cups. So again, absconding, not wanting to sit at the table. We got this one here, the hang one. The Nine of Wands just poked out. So, yes, some are surviving. And then we had these other ones, Eight of Wands, Queen of Pentacles, and Ace of Wands. Again, a lot of fire energy. I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. I do not know. Because that is how many majors? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. 8 majors. 8 majors. It's a big message. I don't understand it. I'm sorry, y'all. Energy related to science. 9 majors. Strength card. Insecurity, lack of control. The true strength is not in brute force. It is in the power of the soul, which is in which lies in vulnerability. I don't know that one. How can you harness your inner strength? All right, King of Pentacles. Okay, so it's definitely something. King of Pentacles. It does deal with money. I know. I think Libby was talking about something about fusion. I think she was getting something about fusion. Something that was known, the Tesla stuff. Yeah, there you go. There's the oligarchs here. Somebody here wants the information quiet. So she was sharing something about the Tesla papers or Panama papers or some kind of papers. And I think it was talking about how power can be made without, say, an electric company. Um, of course, they would shut that down. Just like gas can be made without petroleum, without dinosaur fuel, fossil fuels. And that got shut down. Energy and gravity. Okay, that's interesting. Energy. I think it could be because weren't some of them nuclear? I know some of them were also aerospace. I don't know. Okay. The Queen of Wands showed herself 3 times and I didn't say anything. Um, she showed herself in different ways. It's interesting because I'm getting the Nine of Swords. So, like this release from anxiety, this inner calm, this. What is it? You better stop the love and be your own. Okay, talk to me. What are you? I hope that's not a bug because these bugs bite around here. Okay, tell me about the 14 scientists. Okay, strength card came in the upright this time. And there's the Seven of Swords again, and the Three of Pentacles again. Something done in the cover of night. They snuck away with information. Okay, right. Scientists knew. They took away information. Um, I think it's information to share. They took the information, and it says teamwork makes the dream work, but it's in the upside down land. So done in the cover of darkness, but I think one of them might have, not one of the ones missing, but maybe two. I think they probably killed the one who told. I think that's what happened. Somebody said something, tipped them off, let them know, let the powers that be know. And that's what happened. That's what happened. Yep. Because here's the Justice and the Fool card. That's what happened. Yep. Look at all these majors. 4 majors now. Because that's the Chariot. This is huge information. I don't understand it all, though. What risk are you willing to take? That's the Fool. So that's the question. What risk are you willing to take? They took it. How can you harness your inner strength to overcome obstacles? Some of them ran away with the information. How can you use your willpower to achieve your goals? That's where I'm stuck with the Chariot. But it says they have a direction here. These are all yes cards, by the way. Even the Six of Wands in reverse here is a yes card. There's yes, 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 yes. So there's 5 cards yes here. We're on, and I'm getting goosies. So we're on the right track. This is dealing with the energy, and it's definitely dealing with energy. And it's this extinction burst stuff, you know? Because this is what it feels like, is that extinction burst stuff. Um, Fossil fuels are about done. So there goes the oil industry and the electric companies. They make money. So they have a vested interest in coming against these people. And then the internet, they make money. That's the world card. They want to share it with the world. Got it. Thank you. Oh, they want to share it with the world. The Empress. Okay. Don't go anywhere. Please stop. Don't blow. Don't blow. Okay. I'm going to have to go get those cards. Um, I'll try to get them when we're done. I'm not going to read these again. Okay. So, all right. So we're along the tracks. Were they about to expose resources that would topple industries financially? Are they about to expose resources, information and resources that would topple oil and energy? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Why? Because we got the Five of Pentacles, we have the Seven of Pentacles, we have the Queen of Wands, and then we have the Five of Cups. When these two hit the ground, that was a big yes for me because this would be affecting the money. This would be affecting the money. This would be affecting the thing that continues to grow for them, the harvesting and stuff that they do. And this would not impoverish them, but yeah, you know, industries do disappear entirely. So this would have done that. Okay. And then people would have been moving on to something else. And this Queen of Wands, again, this Queen of Wands is saying, what? What is she saying? Oh, okay. And then over flips the Six of Swords, moving on again. So it's time. It's time for people to be moving on from these industries. And we have the resources. The Queen of Wands doesn't want it. Insecurity, lack of creativity, lack of leadership, lack of passion, and coldness. The Queen of Wands doesn't want it. Tell me more about the Queen of Wands, though. You wonder if any of it had to do with a recent trip to the moon? I don't know. It doesn't resonate, but I don't know. Okay, look, Queen of Wands again, twice in the. I'm trying to understand the Queen of Wands, and they gave it to me twice. All right, so this Queen of Wands is the blueprint. What she's building, leadership, direction, and in the reverse, what are we talking about here? We're talking about Two of Cups, and again, I'm getting Two of Cups as breaking social contracts. And the Seven of Swords just showed itself again, and this time it's like paying the piper, meeting the consequences of your actions. And the Queen of Wands is trying to escape this judgment. I don't understand though. I don't necessarily understand. Give me the Queen of Wands. Explain that better for me, please. Nine of Swords. Again, in the reverse. I think it was in the reverse. This feels like being released from this hold they have on people. That's the second time we got that. And then the star. Star in reverse. It's a lot of majors that keep coming out. And the Knight of Cups. And then the Ten of Swords and the Five of Wands. Yes. feels like how these companies are betraying us, keeping us liquored up. We're supposed to be sober, and they're just filling our cup and filling our cup and filling our cups, keeping us dependent on their energies. And then the Four of Cups. People are rejecting it, but also, teachers have wisdom. They've been there. They've been where you are. And so are these energies. We have water energy, we have solar energy, we have wind energy. We don't need fossil fuels. Free energy would absolutely change everything. It would make them not celebrate. Like they would be upset about that. And that's interesting. Wheel of Fortune. Because I was just about to say, and it would end American industries as well. Because somebody said, I forgot who said it, but they said that the US is an oil company with a military. Imagine if we didn't need it. Imagine if we used natural energy in our energy. How much better a world this would be. That's interesting. So, are you telling me that these people, these scientists, are being hunted? Yeah, because they know this. They have that information. Yep. And there's an ace, another yes. So they're being hunted. And I'm getting goosebumps. So they're being hunted to keep us dependent on these industries that could be free. Free energy. Yes, yes, yes. Betrayal. Knight. Ace of Swords. We got the King of Cups, because again, these people don't care. Yep, and they want to hide the information so people never learn. And then there's the Death card. It didn't make sense, but it does now, doesn't it? It didn't make sense, but it does now, doesn't it? Exactly. They want to keep people broke. Yes. The people are ready for something new, such as water energy. But no, they want to take our water for data centers. Death card again. And the treason again. And it's coming regardless of what. The karma is here. The karma is here. It is coming. I don't think they understand. They could have kept us quiet. They could have kept us sedated. If you just let us be successful and live our lives, we never would have bothered people. We never would have. We wouldn't have wanted to change energies. We would have been sedated by comfort. But no, they had to make us extremely uncomfortable. And in being uncomfortable, guess what? Now you need to find other strategies. Now you need to find other ways. People are buying solar power lights and turning off their lights in their house. Okay? The only energy running is just the AC. They're buying solar power lights and sticking them in their windowsills. They don't need this stuff anymore. And exactly, the industries are conspiring against each other, with each other, to try to do this. But look at this. One, two, three. Three majors in this reading, because there's the government. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. And it's not going to work because the people are going to demand better. Because now we're experiencing some of the worst, and it can get worse. And hopefully we stop it before it does, because I don't want to get to the drone police state. It is too easy to make drones. They can churn them out hundreds and thousands a day. We don't need to get that far. If we get that far, we're screwed. And I don't want to get that far. We need to take our lives back now. Now. You already see that they don't care. They will replace you with a robot and some zeros and ones in a heartbeat to save themselves money. But here's the thing, if you're so busy saving yourself money, who's paying you? Exactly. They've awakened that old American sentiment of personal power, of torch power, of off with his head, the King of Swords. If they would have kept us sedated. But you have some stupid, greedy people for entertainment purposes. Stupid, 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 greedy people because they are cutting off their own nose to spite themselves. You take us out of our jobs so you can save some money. Guess who doesn't have money to pay you? Okay, so you keep getting government contracts. Great. At what point will the government keep paying you? Because the government won't have money because the people can't pay them. Look at this ace. This ace said yes, yes, yes. And look, world card at the end. This is the dumbest thing ever. All right, so I think we're going to call it a day. There's a Seven of Swords, y'all. They're going to face consequences, and I'm happy for it. Face them, face them. We're going to stop there. I didn't get to Bezos. I'll put him on for tomorrow. We didn't do the AWOL people. I'm getting chills, so we're definitely going to stop because we do have to do Bezos, and I don't want to. I want to see what that gets into tomorrow, so we're going to do that. We're going to do the AWOLers. I'm going to look that up some more anyway. Becky, what did you want to ask about Ted Turner? What was your question regarding that? Oh, and what was y'all question regarding the hantavirus? Like, what was the question? So that I can know what y'all want me to do. Bye, Bree. Okay, so let me tell y'all real quick about my mediumship class last night. As you know, I big up Mel Farr a lot with her her development circle. Hold on, let me get these cards before they fly more. 1 second. Okay, sorry. All right, so like I said, y'all know I big up Mel Farr. If you want to look her up here on YouTube, she is Mediumship with Mel, MEL, Mediumship with Mel, to see her channel and see how she works. And so we did a class last night that was really interesting. I missed last week because last week, and I didn't want to, but I had missed taking Advil. Ah! Okay, as long as you have legs. Okay. I missed taking Advil. So it was like day one of my cycle. So I couldn't move. Oh, it was horrible. I was like, I could just sit up. I couldn't even sit up. I couldn't even sit up. So I missed one. Oh, is that your question? Is it fake? What do you mean fake? Okay. Like whatever. Um, like whatever I felt on him. Okay. I gotta count these because they went flying. Anyway, sorry. So in class, um, she did something that she didn't do last year or even last class. She tried something and you know, I guess that she felt led to try. 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think partially it's because I'm struggling a little bit, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm struggling a little bit with it because I get so many spirits at one time and boundaries are like really hard for me. So, this thing she tried last night with us was to use colors. So she splits her mediumship circle into two. So she splits it into psychic and mediumship. So you'll do a psychic exercise and then you'll do a mediumship exercise. All right, I'll go through those questions in a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what she tried last night was really interesting. So we did past, present. We did past, present, and future. Sorry, there's so many lizards and they want to come to the table with me. I am not reptile lady. Mm-mm. Hearing reports that it is BS, and the others now that they let these people off the ship and didn't tell us and are back here in the States. Huh? I just heard about Spain letting them go there. What? I don't know. I'm out. So I would have to look it up. Um, was it made in a lab? And honestly, I don't put anything past these people. Look at this guy. He's just chilling. Move. Am I queen of reptiles today? Oh my God. As long as you have legs, but stay away from me. Hearing reports says BS. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Oh, I'm missing one. Oh my God. Who am I missing? Because it's 78 cards, right? And I'm at 77. Okay. Who went flying? Who else went flying? Um, Jesus, people. All right. So I gotta find it because I love this deck. This is my favorite deck. So she had us do for the psychic part, she had us do past, present, and future of the person we were reading, which was like pretty cool because it worked for me. It gave me boundaries that I didn't have before. Because normally, like when you have a gift of mediumship, and obviously people on here do, like, you know, if you hear from your people, like your own people, you can easily hear from other people's people. And sometimes, like, if like me, you might have started out hearing from other people before you realized you were hearing from them. So I gotta find it, man. Anyway, this is my favorite deck. Oh, I do have a fan in here. Okay, so um, oh, child. So this is really cool. I actually brought my notebook so I can talk about it because I use one notebook for my mediumship. Um, and so you do colors. And what was really cool is that as soon as I started reading this person, I saw, first of all, the girl who read me, she was so amazing. Like, oh my gosh, she hit me like really, really good. She's like, in your past, you had turbulent times, you had hardship and heaviness. You navigated different difficulties and emotions, and this is what helps shape your presence. You derived a lot of strength from it. The experience is what you use to actually help people, to understand them deeply, and to have compassion. It was so good. Anyway, so she kept going. I take a lot of notes. Hey, Kinga. I take a lot of notes. So anyway, so then when I did her, I immediately got like some very specific colors. And I'm talking about when I say specific, because like when Mel did the example, she gave an example. So she read somebody with colors. And when and I think I want to do somebody, I want to try somebody, but you'll have to be a subscriber on Substack. So I think this Sunday when actually I want to do it before Sunday because today is Thursday. This Sunday from 4 to 5, we'll be doing yes no readings on Substack. You have to be a Substack subscriber in order to get a yes card. paid subscribers would get a little more, like an actual like question reading. Um, but anyway, uh, so I do want to do. I'll probably I'll put a post on Substack. Hopefully, you guys can see it this time. I'll put a post on Substack to see if anybody would be open to letting me practice more with this color thing, because this color thing was like great practice. If you want to know what my Substack information is, it's right there in the description. Okay. So I think I'll choose somebody. Today is Thursday, so I'll choose somebody tomorrow. I'll put the post up in a little bit, and then I'll choose somebody tomorrow to meet with me. Please have tomorrow evening available. That way we can do it tomorrow evening because I want to get immediate practice with it. But anyway, so the psychic reading, we did past, present, and future. And with this woman, okay, so when Mel did it, she, for example, that she did it, and I think these were the colors she actually got for the person that she read, but they were simple. They were like blue, purple, whatever other color she said. I don't remember what the colors were she said except blue. I remember she said blue. So then when I read this person, I immediately heard and saw. Well, first heard because y'all know clairvoyance is one of my strongest clairs. Not clairvoyance, clairaudience. So I immediately heard, and then clairvoyance I saw, but my seeing is weaker than my hearing. And I immediately heard sunflower yellow. So I wrote it down. I heard sunflower yellow. I heard radiant orange. And then I heard hot pink. And I'm like, these are very specific, right? This is not yellow, orange, pink. And then I saw it and I saw like this sunset. So I'm like, the sunset, this feels like an ending then. But then I was like, I disregarded that. I'm not going to say that. And then when I went into the sunflower for her past, I then understood that sunflowers look for light. So it's like sunflowers turn their face to the sun. Um, so they're searching for light, and it just told me that there was darkness there. And as I like read more about her, I'm not giving y'all any private information or what I'm saying. Like this is like I won't say generic, but it's like could apply to a lot of different people, I guess. But it was like I like the first thing, and if you want to see my notes, because I draw a lot when I'm reading, because it helps me focus. So I draw a lot when I'm reading. Um, I didn't write her future down because we ran out of time, but I was able to share it with her uh, when I was supposed to be getting feedback from her. My cards flew again. Here comes y'all's favorite ice cream truck. Anyway, um, so you see, I draw. But oh, by the way, y'all, thank y'all for liking the video. I appreciate it. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button so you can chat with us. And anyway, um, and share. We read on some amazing stuff. And a lot of the things that we read on aren't necessarily time sensitive. You know what I mean? So you can actually go into past readings because we read on the people, not necessarily like time. There are things that are time sensitive that say like April reading, May reading, whatever. You can look at that. But a lot of the readings that we read really aren't that much of a time sensitive reading. But anyway, so sunflower yellow. The immediate impression I got was that she was like there was awkwardness. Like that's literally the first word I wrote was like awkwardness. I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's right there. That word, awkwardness. And it's like awkwardness of her body, but also of her personality. And it was like, okay, so she didn't fit. And then it's like, okay, didn't fit with like I try to process things through my body. Like I'm learning to trust that way. And y'all know we do the goosebumps things too. That's always great as well. But I try to process things through my body. So it'd be like, I'll go awkwardness of friends. Yeah, but not really because she didn't have a lot of friends. So it's like these things that I'm getting. And there's like awkwardness of her family. It's like, dang. Okay. So she didn't really fit in her family. And then, my human self, argues with my gifted self, I guess. And so it's like, but I don't want to say that she had awkwardness with her family because What if she had a loving family? You know? So I'm like arguing back and forth with myself, but whatever. I write it down. And then I went, I don't think her parents died necessarily, but I feel like they weren't her parents, that they felt like more like guardians, but they were her parents, but there was a distance. And so, like, you know, so I wrote that down. I wrote parents slash guardianship, disconnect. Then I have yearning for connection, because again, the sunflower popped in my head. So it's like wanting to connect with the sun. But I also put like, this was like the beginning of her gifts, you know, like her past, her childhood. This was the beginning of her gifts. And one of the coolest things that I got was that um, she didn't necessarily have imaginary friends, but she had remembered places. And it was like places where she could escape. And then she used books as an escape. And then, like, you know, so I'm going on about these things. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. So I'm writing all these notes down or whatever. Um, that she was different from her family, that she had a sensitivity that makes her cry easy with movies. And like one of the reasons I got that was I saw my daughter, and my daughter as a child, she would cry a lot during movies. You know, especially at that little the turn. Like, you know, every child movie has a breakup scene. Like, you know, you kick the dog out, something happens. There's a breakup scene in a child's movie. We call it the turning point. We call it the, what do you call this? We call it the not point of no return. We call it, oh, dark night of the soul. That's what we call it. In screenwriting or regular writing, we call it dark night of the soul. So it's that pivot where it feels like you've lost everything, right? And some of us, we go through several of those in our real lives, like I'm coming out of mine. Because you're now becoming somebody new. And so now you have a new journey, a new trajectory to go on. So it was really interesting, Carly. Like, it was so interesting because I didn't think this was going to work. When she was explaining it, I was so confused. But then, like, as soon as I went to do my psychic reading with her, I just like it just connected. So anyway, so the sunflower was about like yearning, like wanting to be seen, to be valued, to be, you know, and then yellow, like it just gave this bubbly child personality that just didn't have anywhere to go, you know? And it was really interesting because I'm like, she had remembered places, not imaginary friends. And I'm like, that's really interesting. Um, so then, and special places. So then when I got to like the radiant orange, it was like the tie from past to present was this need for joy. Like as a child, for some reason, I had that she loved the water, like she liked to be in the rain. Because again, I saw my daughter. Where me and my daughter and I, we danced in the rain um, some months ago. But it was just like fun and joy and laughter and curiosity, and I really, really enjoyed it. Damn it! I didn't pick up the card that just flew. So now where'd you go? Okay, are you gonna lead me to the other card? I like that. All right, we'll do that. I think it's gonna lead me to the other card. Okay. Anyway, so then that goes into a present, and I'm like, you need more joy. Like you need to take up more space. You need to be more unapologetic because it's radiant orange, right? And so the radiant, I got like vibrant, not vibrant, but radiating. Duh, radiant, radiating. So like pulsing. That's what I got. I got like pulsing from the orange. So it's like take up more space, take up more room, be more vibrant, be okay with being seen, like all these different things. And it was so interesting. Um, and then because we were supposed to be cycling through our clairs, that's one of the things she has us do. She's like, whenever you get stuck, even though I wasn't stuck, but she's like, whenever you're stuck, go through your clairs. So you have the six clairs. You have seeing, tasting, smelling, senses, and then clair. You know, basically. So seeing, touching, no, seeing, knowing, tasting, smelling, hearing. What the heck is the sixth one? Feeling. There we go. Instead of touching, it's feeling. So, which is clairsentience. So then, so you cycle through the clairs, and it was like, okay, I could feel the water. I like the water. It's great. Um, and then it's like, I smell pine, but I hate pine trees. So I'm like, why do I smell pine? Okay. So I just wrote down pine and whatever. And then I didn't write down the stuff for the future, so I can't remember it necessarily, except that the things that she needs more of in her present is because she already has it in her future. And so like her future is trying to pull her towards the present. Like, come on, girl, come out. Let's have fun. Let's be this person. Um, it's really interesting. So turns out that she lives by a beach and she loves to be in the water, just sit there. And next to her is like this little wood with pine, and she loves to go walk through the pines. And I was just like, oh, okay, well, I don't like pine because I'm actually allergic to pine. Oh wait, I am really allergic to pine. I just realized that it did come on my allergy test that I'm allergic to pine, but my whole life I hated the smell of it because it would make me itch. Okay, so anyway, so that was interesting. That's not the interesting part though, right? So the exercise of the colors was it was just great because it just gave me a place to put the stuff that I was receiving. But then when you get to mediumship, right? So there was a mediumship part, and I read with a different person. And because our objective that day or last night was to use the colors to try to help us out, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try that with the mediumship. Because again, with mediumship, I have too many souls coming in all the time when I talk. And I'm talking about present souls, past souls, and past life souls. I get people's past lives a lot. So I was, what do you need? You gotta hurry up, honey, because I gotta get off this thing soon because these mosquitoes are gonna come find me. What do you need? Oh, shoot, and I'm out of mosquito juice? Mm-mm. Aw, that's okay. You got a 4. Represent, baby. What does it matter? It's just a test. I know you're sad. Math is your thing, but you struggled a little bit this year, right? You got a little harder, right? Who? Did she get a 4 or a 5? She got a 5 in math, and you got a 5 in reading. Did y'all swap places? I think so. No. Okay, so you missed it by like 9 points. 1? You missed it by 1 again? 3? Oh my God. Babe, you're not sad. Brush it off. You were only 3 points off. You know what that is? You know what that is? You second guessed yourself on that question? You answer one too fast? Okay. You have more time left than anybody else? Okay. You went too fast, right? Right? So guess what? It's all good. If you take your time next time, then you'll be perfecto. But perfect is overrated. Huh? You just say you answered one too fast. Huh? Okay, but that one would be your points, your 3 points. You get me? You understand me? Huh? Babe, we don't get mad that we don't hit perfect. Perfect is just a goal. It is not the answer. Okay? We're not mad at that. You know what we're happy about? What are we happy about? Huh? That you got a 4 and you were knocking on a 5 door. That's what we're happy about, right? Oh yeah, because last year Pate is the one who missed the 5 by 1, right? Yeah. Okay, well y'all just swap places. It was just a little struggle this year, just a little bit. But you're good. Remember how you cried last year in 5th grade, being scared that you wouldn't be able to handle 6th grade? You don't remember? Well, guess what you just did? What'd you do? You handled 6th grade, right? Okay. If you see another card, let me know because I'm missing one. Okay. So you handled 6th grade. You knocked it out the park. There's only 3 weeks left. Baby, I would not be crying. I'd be celebrating. Okay. I don't know if you'll find it because I don't know when I lost it actually. I don't know if I lost it a day or what, but I know I'm mad. All right. Love you, man. Oh, boy. All right, y'all. Sorry, I'm trying to. I don't like lighters. They hurt my hands. And then you see the wind blowing. I can't find my electric tool. There we go. Come on, baby. Oh, beautiful smoke. Are you smoking? Okay, you are. Smoke, damn it. I'm sorry. Oh, lighters hurt so bad. And then there's that. Oh, don't fall into the ashes. All right. So let me finish this mediumship thing. Okay. So then y'all, like I said, I get a lot of souls. Y'all know, once you open the door, they're all like, oh my God, she can hear me. And then they all want to talk at one time, right? Oh, both of my kids are ADHD, but girls do tend to handle it a little bit better because it's usually just in their mind. My son is literally without the behavior problem because he's not a behavior problem. Thank the good Lord, because I've already had that with number two. Whew. The things that I know now, I could have raised him so much better. I wish we would talk more. Like, I wish TikTok was around when he was a child. Kinda, I'm kind of glad I got to go through my 20s without social media. But um, I definitely could have raised him a lot better. I own a lot of his failures myself um, because we just have no understanding what ADHD was. Like, back in the day, like, people told you it was a squirrel. And it's like, okay, I can make myself focus. It is way beyond focus, child. It is executive dysfunctioning. It's metacognition. It's one of the reasons okay, to be an ADHD kid plus a trauma kid, oh, you're asking, you're asking for a basket of trouble because you're an amazing person who doesn't feel amazing, you know? But you're an amazing person, but you don't feel amazing. So it'd be like when people overlooked me, like paying $2,000 for a business coach when I help way better and I was only charging like $297 because I did not value myself. I would be so pissed at people like, you pay them, but you come to me for help, you know? So it would like, in those moments of being pissed, it would be like, do you know who I am? Like when people overlook me, like, do you know who I am? Like, are you serious that you don't know who I am? Like, I'm the shit. And it's like, wait, hold on. I am. I am the shit. Like, you need to start acting like it. But then it's like, no, I'm supposed to be humble. But there's fake humble and then there's real humble. Real humble is knowing you're the shit because it's God's gifts or whatever y'all believe in. But like, God is Big Daddy, Big Mama, whoever. And if I'm in their image, I'm Big Mom too. And I got checked one time. I remember like somebody said, oh my God, that was amazing. I was like, it was nothing. And I remember hearing clear as day, oh, so I'm nothing? Okay. So what I gave you is nothing? What if I take it away? Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Right? So it's really interesting. I get checked a lot. But anyway. Um, so the mediumship thing. Hold on. Girl, we can talk about parenting children with ADHD. We can do that on another one. Okay. So it's a answer questions, redhead. Wow, past life souls too. Yeah, Jen, like it's crazy. I don't try to read past lives. Um, I don't because we're supposed to be reading people who are in front of us and whatever. And so I would read and stuff. But like one person I read, I was reading her and I was like, do you do metal work? And she's like, no. I was like, but you do. I'm telling people who they are. I'm like, but you do metal work. And she's like, no, actually I don't. I'm like, I see you as a blacksmith. Oh my gosh, wait, no, this is your past life. Because I could see her as a blacksmith. Um, And it was like spiritual work with the metal work, like literally like hammering and blacksmith and stuff like that. And I was like, you might not feel like you belong anywhere in this present life, but you need to be going to Renaissance festivals. And she's like, what? I was like, yes, because your past soul wants to be at Renaissance festivals. And it was just so interesting. It was weird because I'm like, you're looking for your people, right? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, your people are cosplayers. They're at Comic Cons and they're at Renaissance festivals. Your people are not wherever you're looking. They're not at work. They're not at, they're at Renaissance festivals. And I like really got stuck on Renaissance Festival because I could see her metalwork and I could see her doing that. And I was just, it's really interesting. And so she's actually in a mediumship class too, not wanting to be a medium either, but exploring the gifts of them. And she's actually really good too. And it's like, I like every time I see her, I see her there in the past. Another person last year when I was in Mel's class and we were reading, and this is a wonderful person, beautiful soul too. And she was just so porcelain. It was weird. She's like the perfect American beauty standard, if you would think of it. Like she had this dark hair, this porcelain skin, this soft demeanor, and this healing gift. And she, she was slender because she did like Pilates and yoga. She was an instructor of something like that, right? And I was talking to her and I'm looking at her and I was like, um, I see you collecting herbs and flowers. Are you into that? And she's like, oh, yeah, I've just started making like teas and things. I'm like, no, no, no. I see a basket, like, and it's weird because I think when I read Juices, I think you had a similar thing. It's something with the Irish and Welsh women, but it was more Welsh. No, it was Scottish for her. And I was like, and I think I saw her tartan, I think it's called, the plaid thingy. And I'm like, and I see you're a healer. You're a healer with flowers and herbs and spices and all those kinds of things. And and she goes, oh my God, like I just had somebody read like my Akashic records last week or last month or whatever. And they were telling me that they saw my Scottish ancestry. And I was like, okay, thank you for the validation. Because that was like one of the first times I like did that in that class. But I've I realized I've pretty much always done it with people. I just didn't connect it a lot. So yeah, Comic Cons and festivals. Those are people. Those are souls remembering. Like that's the biggest thing I get about it. Like that's where light is. Those are souls remembering, um, and they get to dress and be and whatever. Their souls remembering, especially Renaissance festivals. Um, but anyway, so with her, I told her, I was like, and you need to start charging people like 5 figures for the work that you do with them. And she's like, what? I was like, yes, because you have a heart of giving back to people. And this would allow you to do that. So you go get your corporate clients, your stay-home Stepford wives, and you lead those retreats with them, helping them heal and find whatever they need, right? This is not like use them, but they have a different level of resources. So just make it apply, you know? And so it's like, you need to be doing those healing retreats, yoga, like, because she has everything, like holistic retreats. And I'm like, you can lead them on that, take them through their own spiritual exercises, etc. But that needs to be a 5-figure investment. And then that allows you to pour back into shelters and women centers and stuff of that nature. And she just started crying. She's like, that's what I want to do. I was like, well, that's how you do it. Is you have the look. People are not going to go, oh my God, she charged me $200 because she didn't charge me $200 because social media is about the look, right? This is just the truth. Social media is about the look. Social media is about the aesthetic. So when people see people well put together, right? Makeup, hair, clothing, demeanor. When people see that, the setup, um, it makes them trust in whatever the person's asking for. Whereas someone like myself, I value comfort over costume. And so I don't like stuff on my face. So I don't really like to wear makeup. Um, Sometimes I can't have constrictors. So sometimes I don't even wear a bra. I like my background to change. I'm not in a position of having a background, interior, like a setup background. I'm not there. And I like being outside anyway. So it's like, for some people, it takes more work for them to trust that I can charge what I charge. Um, that's why I'm not dropping my prices in my readings, because I know what people get. But I'm not going to, because I can go higher and I will eventually. But like right now, I'm cool where I am with the price of my readings. And I'm cool with actually not reading much because I get nervous. But because I'm not sure if I want to do this like as readings. Like I don't like sitting all the time. Um, but I have thought about going to different vending shows and stuff like that and doing it that way because it gets out, different environment. I don't know. I don't know. I'll think about it. But anyway, so she's someone who could command $25,000 or $20,000 because she looks the part. You get what I'm saying? Um, and I was like, work that to your advantage. That's nothing to be ashamed of. That's nothing to hate. Work that to your advantage. If it allows you to get to a place where you can give back to women's shelters, like help them with their health, their well-being, their internal, their external. If it can allow you to give back because you had corporate clients, that's what you do. You give your all for your corporate clients, and then you're able to pour into the people you want to give gifts to. Yeah. What do you mean? Same reading, some are banned and some are not. The aesthetic? Possibly. Possibly. Um, that could be. I gotta show y'all this little Cuban lizard. He keeps bugging me. Hold on. Look at him. You can barely see him, but he's right there. You see him? I don't know what this plant is, but it is making the lizards want to come to this aloe looking thing. So, oh, colors, definitely. We won't get into that, but that's definitely part of it. And you can see it, like, for instance, if you look at Gretchen. That's her name, right? Gretchen? Oh my God. I'm trying to see it. Gretchen. Ah! Fudge! I did it again! I touched the thing again. I touched the butt. No, I touched the burning part of the stick. This is why you can't have me near these things. And I need this water, but I'm going to cool me off first. Okay. Yeah. TikTok was a little bit better. Like I grew there and I didn't grow here. I've been trying, I'm not talking about this particular channel, but I've been trying YouTube since like forever. And I just don't grow in here because YouTube wants production and I hate production. I'm just too inconsistent is the word. I'm just too inconsistent, but I'm embracing that because trying to force myself to be consistent makes me not show up at all. So I prefer to show up when I show up. Sometimes I just hit the button because I know it's just fear. And so I hit the button and I show up. But other times it's like, I just don't feel like it today. And so I don't. Um, does that hinder growth? Absolutely. Because people want predictability. And the only thing predictable predictable about me is that I'm unpredictable. The only thing predictable about me is I love tech. Yay. But and mangoes. uh oh, so the mediumship, that's where we're going. So we can wrap up because these mosquitoes are starting to come. So whew, that thing burns, child. The mediumship. So this was really interesting. So I went with the color thing, right? I was like, let's try the color thing. And then immediately, wait, I didn't know lizards eat plants. Don't you eat bugs? Are there tiny bugs on that plant? All right, y'all can tell my medicine's wearing off. Here we go. So, don't you come near me though. Anyway, um, so immediately I saw the colors of water. I saw like blues and greens, and I'm like, okay, so this is like an ocean or something. Um, I didn't write those colors down, but that's immediately where we went in. Thank you, Jen. Um, I love y'all too because y'all don't demand too much of me. Okay, so then, um, okay, so I saw the colors of blues and greens, right? I'm like, okay, I think we're in an ocean. Awesome. Well, what's interesting is first I saw the sunset again. Oh, that's the other interesting thing. Let me wrap that up. So with the psychic one, I like I told you initially I saw sunset because those are sunset colors. But then y'all, when I was doing the reading and I got into the hot pink and I was seeing the future stuff and stuff, I was like, oh, this isn't a sunset. This is a sunrise. Girl, you're being called to rise into who you actually are. I was like, oh, blown away, blown away. So, like, my colors weren't as disjointed as the example was. My colors actually went together. And so then when I saw these blues and greens, I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's blending again. So I think we're dealing with water. I'm like, this person like really loves water. Um, like a beach, like really, really loves water. I don't even think I wrote that part down, but I said it out loud. 'Cause I'm like, I'm seeing blues and I'm seeing greens and I'm getting that they love water. Oh, wait, this is my notes. Okay. Her notes. I didn't write much. I wrote young and water. That's it. um, because the person came in young, but I felt like they weren't young, you know? So it's like, I'm getting a young person, like in their 20s, but this person isn't young. This person wasn't young when they passed. Because souls get to come in how they want to, like when they like being there. And what's really interesting is like I said, we had to cycle through the clairs, right? We had to go like what we see if you get stuck. But with her, I was getting the colors, right? So I got the blues and greens and I saw the water and I was like, okay, so she loves water. Um, this person was likely born by a coast, right? And now the person I was reading was Hispanic. And I don't want to assume, don't come here. I don't want to assume, girl, there's something with these plants that they like. I don't want to assume that they are not from America because duh, no, you don't do that. But on top of that is like, I grew up in Miami, so people were born here and they just happen to be Hispanic as well. So I wasn't saying that, but I was like, I think they were born coastal. So coastal could be anywhere, right? Um, South Carolina, Florida, Miami, whatever. So I was seeing that, but then over the water, all of a sudden I start seeing a storm cloud. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting grays and I'm getting a storm cloud. And the storm cloud was like, and then the water got rough. So this is where I did have some clairvoyance of seeing, right? Just a little bit. I don't have deep seeing. I get like sketches, I guess you could say. Um, that's why I draw. Like that's why I sketch. But so I got like the blues and greens, and then I got the grays, and I'm like, okay, I'm seeing storm clouds, and again, my natural inclination would have been to lean into depression, right? Because storms usually are like depression or something. But as she's sitting here and the water's rough, and I can see the choppiness of the waves, and I can see the blue deepening from the light blue green to a darker blue, and the water's getting rough. Now I'm actually feeling this too. So I'm feeling the water get rough, and and I'm seeing those storm clouds, and I'm feeling the water get rough, and then I start seeing like lightning. Um, and then I just went like, this person's so angry. And it feels like this anger lives right in their chest, in their heart region. They're an extremely angry person. And she had her mic on. So she was like, yes, which I like. That was validation. And I'm like, they're just so angry. But that anger was a big thing. And so it just kept taking over. And I could like feel the anger. But under the anger was also a core of sadness. Because it was like, and then I could see this man. So I saw this man, but he was distant. And again, I didn't want to make any assumptions of like, oh, your dad left or something like that. But this, I was getting like this man left her alone to handle things. So he could be in a house, you know what I mean? But he left her alone to handle the burdens of life. And like with this person too, I was like, I want to say she's your mom, but she doesn't feel like your mom, you know? And it's like, she feels like somebody who, I'm going to tell you what the interesting part is really soon. That's not even the interesting part. Um, I was saying like she feels like somebody who doesn't feel equipped for the responsibilities of life, right? So it's like, why do I have a child? I can't take care of myself, like that kind of thing. And it was weird though, because I'm like, it's your mom, but it's not your mom. And I don't have my notes to go on, so I'm trying to go by my memory. And it was that, and then the man was there, and he was distant. And I'm like, a man is partially part of this reason, and she said yes, and I was like, okay. Um, but I feel like it's men, not a man, actually, because it stayed with me a little bit because I forgot to release the energy, and so I'm like, there were men, and so it's like hurt by men in whatever ways, but one of them did feel violently, so to speak. Um, so what was interesting is that she did say this was actually her grandmother who raised her since she was a kid. So that was the mom, not mom, and she was like, and one of the other things I got was like, I, I, I asked because it was something really interesting that came up because I felt the need to leave. And I was like, wait, she didn't kill herself, did she? Right? And she said, no. I was like, okay. But then I saw the sun peeking out through the cloud and I got the message. And so the message was that she wanted to leave. And she thought about it often, leaving. But this woman that I was reading was the only ray of light that she had in her life. And she didn't want to take that girl's light away, which was really interesting. And so she was saying something to the effect of like, you know, you're who I wish I could have been, like those kinds of things, like having that strength, having that knowledge of yourself, being able to speak up for yourself, like all these different things that this woman was able to do that she wasn't able to do. Again, being from a different time, I guess, you know? I didn't actually pick up grandmother. Well, actually, I lie. I did pick up grandmother at first, and I'm like, I don't want to be cliche and be like, it's your grandma, you know? Um, so I was like holding off on that. But like I said, the part of like it feels like your mom, but not your mom. That was coming through, but I'm like, me being me, I didn't want to commit to that. Um, but I did tell her, like, like if the water will be cool, calm, and still, and then all of a sudden it just be choppy. And she was like, yeah, she was like that. Like things would be good, and then things would be terrible. And I like the message I got was like her trying to explain herself, you know. So she wasn't giving me all this other stuff. She's like, I want you to understand my emotions. Like I want you to understand the storm that lived with me my whole life. And it was like, it was never about you. It was about, I don't know where to put this. I don't know how to let this stuff go. Um, and so that was just really interesting. I don't know how her grandmother passed. I didn't get there. I just know that because that was one of the things we were supposed to bring up. But I just kept getting that she always wanted to, but she didn't want to hurt the one sunray. And the interesting though, this is where the interesting part comes in. So y'all, I'm like, but she really loves water. Why does she really, really, really love water? And then all of a sudden I went, wait a second. Does this make sense? Your grandmother's a water spirit. What is that?
A brownie with sweet cream.
Oh, okay, thank you. Um, and I was so hesitant to say that because I've never picked up another entity. And I just kept seeing her in water and not in the way of swimming, not on a boat. I kept seeing this woman in water. And so I was like, would that make sense to you? I was so hesitant to say it. I was like, would that make sense to you? I think your grandmother was a water spirit who came here to have a human experience. And she was like, you know what? It actually does make sense because that was her only happy place. And by water spirit, though, you know, my only source of reference is a mermaid. But even when I said the word mermaid, I was like, it's more of a siren. Um, so I don't know if there's a difference between that, but it just feels like she was a water spirit, which was so interesting to me. And I had immediate goosebumps when I said it. And so I was like, oh shit, this is real. And I'm getting them now. I'm like, oh my God, this is so real. Wait, there are other entities? It's like, oh my God, don't tell me I can read other entities who come for human experiences. So, and that's why it connects with that she didn't feel prepared for all this responsibility of this human life because she didn't know this was part of humanity. She just wanted to experience humanity. And it was just so weird. And it just stayed with me. The turbulent storm within her of just this anger and the sadness. Oh, yeah, like I started crying. It was crazy. Um, just how emotional. Like she, like, here, I want you to feel all of this so you can translate all of this. And so that was like her main message to the woman was like, this was what I carried. So I didn't try to hurt you. I didn't want to hurt you. I didn't want to hurt anybody. This is how I was, and this is how I feel. Um, and and it was weird because it was like, you make me proud, but not in the sense of like, ah, my little bunchkin. It was like, you make me proud because you got to do the things I didn't get to do, like that kind of thing. Like be who I didn't get to be, like speak up and, know how to navigate this life. That was the other word she had about navigating this life. Um, but it was really interesting. So now I do entities and past lives and future stuff. Oh my God. It's so weird. This other guy that I read, right? He wanted to know. Okay, so this was another exercise. I know we gotta go, but let me finish talking. I'm sorry, I'm a handful right now. Just give me 5 seconds, 5 minutes. All right. So this other guy, this was a psychic thing. I told you, Mel breaks her class into psychic and into mediumship. So the first part was psychic part. So she taught us about files, pulling spiritual files in this particular exercise. This is something we didn't do last year either. So this was something neat and interesting. And so basically it was like somebody tells you what they're trying to read, like let's say career. And when you enter and blend your spirit, it's basically like seeing yourself being able to pluck that file and like, all right, let's read it, which was interesting. It wasn't as strong and effective for me as this was, but it wasn't bad actually. Um, so with this particular guy, he wanted a love file, right? So I pull out his love. He wants to know about his future woman. Okay, interesting. How do you do that, right? And so, um, so I pluck it, and what's really this is one of my confidence knockers, right? Because let me show you. This is one of my confidence knockers. So, all right, these notes, don't miss, this is like what we had to do. So these notes are 2 columns of me writing things that this other person told me, right? So all the way to here. This is everything she told me about my grandmother. because that's who I asked to see. Oh my God, it was so great. Like my grandmother comes a lot because she's one of the only people who are passed over that I know well enough to validate what somebody's saying. So it's her, my grandfather, and my cousin. Those are the only three people very, very close to me that have passed. Everybody else who've passed, like a cousin, an aunt, or something. I'm like, I know you, but I don't know anything specific to be like, yes, you're right. Oh my God, that's them. Like I don't have that for anybody else. But and these are the three people in my life who actually loved me. So they're all gone. So it's been quite an interesting time. Other than my kids, and my boo. So my confidence knocker is, you see how many notes I took for that? Look how many notes I wrote for that girl. The one I just told you about the storm, the water entity, etc. I have 3 lines. I have the name she gave me, and I have 2 notes. Because I feel pressure of time. So it's like, because I like to write it out first, because that helps me write it out first. But you can't just be silent the whole time. Um, so I've actually, with my other class I was taking, I practiced with pictures, and that was interesting. I was actually able to give accurate reads off of pictures, so that was pretty cool. Um, but this one, again, this is the girl reading my past, present, future, right? So uh, past, present kind of blend together, and then future. So y'all see all these notes that she gave me, right? And a little bit more on the back. Wait, let me finish what I was saying. So my grandmother came, my grandmother, she read my grandmother, and she gave me a little bit of information that I didn't know about my grandmother that I liked, that I really, really, really appreciated. She said, oh, that's the other girl. Hold on. We'll get back to that. So then these are the notes I did for her. Just that. The one that I showed you before. Past, present, future. So I have to sit in it, like I can't just like other people can. I have to sit in it. But then there's still the human part of me of like, am I hearing what I'm hearing? Is that what you want me to say? Like, do you mean it like that? Like, so I sit and question a lot. So that's my confidence blocker. Is that I question still a lot of things, but I think that's just me. But anyway, so what the girl said about my grandmother was really awesome. She said that my grandmother was a spiritual lady, huge faith in a higher power. She attended church regularly, which she did. But then she said, but she knew there was more to it than just religion. She was intuitive, and it ran in the family way back through the lineage. And she's like, when you get that back of the head tingling, that's her validating what you're getting. I was like, oh, that's really interesting, because she also came again, and like her message to me was thank you, like thank you for doing this, for diving into this, for she's like everything you've done for me, but also what you're doing for you, like that kind of stuff. And that's really interesting, because when I did a group reading with Mel last February, um, and in the group reading you're not guaranteed, but it's a good way to get your feet wet if you ever see one of her group readings open. It was like $35. My grandmother was the first person to show up, as my grandmother would. She took over immediately. And at the time, Mel did not record those group readings, but I was late, so I missed her saying that. So there's not much I remember, because I was in the moment and I was emotional. And emotions block memory. But um, Mel said the same thing of thank you for exploring this. And that was like really my first time exploring it, because I didn't even have cards or anything yet. And that's what led me on this path of, okay, let me get a little bit more into this and see what's what. And then I got my own reading from Mel, and I signed up for her course at that point, or her development circle at that point, and it was just like, oh, this is just my everyday stuff. I thought this was going to be special, but this is just my everyday stuff. This is what I do with people all the time. And this is why people like used me a lot, because I could tell them things, and I didn't realize that. So people were using my gift, and I didn't realize that. So y'all probably have some of that going on in your life too. But anyway, to wrap this up, so the guy, he's an older gentleman, and he's like loving my life. Human me is like, you still looking? Like, what? But, we had to do the file. So I pulled the file and it was crazy because I didn't get a lot. And that's the thing. Like, I just did not get a lot. But, like, what I got was a lot, you know? So it's like, I see a balcony. I see you two sitting for coffee and tea because I saw two different drinks. Like, one was a cappuccino and one was the thing. And I just see you on a balcony and I see you just like overlooking. And I don't see anything fast paced. This doesn't feel like a vacation. It just feels like life, but it doesn't feel like a work hustle life. And I'm just like saying these things, but I'm like, I just keep seeing this balcony. And I see like these green hedges. And I'm like, I just keep seeing this balcony. And then I'm like, wait, but I'm getting Paris, but I don't see the Eiffel Tower, you know? So I'm like, so why am I getting Paris? Because it feels like you're not here. Because here, an assumption that he was in America, and I was like, it's not here. It's not in America, but it's Paris. But it's not Paris. Like it's French, but it's not Paris. And it's just weird. And I'm like, I see you on the balcony. I see this woman. She has long black gray hair. Like she's the salt and pepper, but the black gray hair. It's really long, but she holds it in a knot, and she's very slender, and she looks like she can buy whatever she wants out of any store she wants. Like she's just that person. And like that's just the vibe I got. Look, I'm getting chills. I hope he meets her really soon. Because it felt like within 2 years. Because he's like, will I meet her soon? I'm like, it feels like within 2 years, I can guarantee. But it feels soon. I'm just gonna say within 2 years, right? But and it's just this focus on coffee and tea. He hates coffee. So I'm glad I said tea. Um, because they had two different drinks, but they were just enjoying each other. And it was like companion. That was the other thing. I didn't get marriage. I got companionship, but long-term companionship. So this is my person. We just don't feel the need to get married. And and it was just really weird. And so then when he comes on, now mind you, his name was something like Javier or Rodrigo, or it was something Hispanic sounding, right? So then he goes, you said French, right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I live in Montreal. Oh my God. It's not here. I was like, oh, okay. Okay, cool. He's like, because I was just, you just enjoy life together or whatever. It was so cool. And he said other people have told him that he has a woman who has long black hair. And he's like, it was just some interesting things. But it just resonated. But again, like my paragraph was like this much of information for him. But it was just, I just see such a comfortability and peace with this person. Um, so that's a confidence blocker for me because it's like other people give a litany of information and I just don't. Hey, Sean. Aw, I'm getting off, Sean. We've been on for, Jesus, that says 217 minutes. Oh my God, almost 4 hours. Okay, girl. But, so that's been my mediumship journey. I highly recommend if she does do another circle, do it. And I would definitely, if like you can't afford, I think it was like $500 or something. If you can't afford that, no, it's one of those angel numbers. So I think it's like 555. You can't afford that. She does split it up in three, with a little finance fee thingy. So it's like $200 a month for 3 months. I'm glad I invested, even though I didn't have it to invest, because I'm the kind of person, if we're talking human design, which is another form of spirituality, right? With human design, my design is that of a projector. And so a projector is somebody who doesn't have a motor of their own, is how it's described. Meaning, a projector needs people. So, like it needs to borrow the energy of a person. So I won't say can't, I just won't. I won't find it to do things on my own, you know? So, like, we have homework to do readings all the time. I don't do any of those mediumship readings because it's like I don't trust my mediumship. I just don't, even though I should, but I don't. And everybody else is like, I met with like 10 people this week, and I'm like, I read on politics. That's all I do. I don't want anybody to pay me for it because I don't trust it. It's weird, but anyway. So as a projector, I have to be with people. So the circle worked to get me back into it and to develop a new gift, I guess, because I love the color thing and I love the file thing, and those are things that I'm going to be using in my readings. They work very, very well. The color more than anything. And so, being a projector, being a person with ADHD and autism, um, being a Gemini, I just can't do stuff alone. I need to have my community. Otherwise, I'm not going to do it. I have to body double all the time. And on that note, you guys, on that note, we have covered a lot today. Um, Thank y'all for listening to my mediumship journey stories as well. Sorry, that thing. Get away from me. You got to go. Sorry. It looked like the lizard was throwing up. Sorry. And he almost made me throw up. Oh my God. On that note, I'm going in. I can't do it. I have a weak stomach. Oh, I'm going. Bye. Bye, y'all. Bye. Don't laugh at me. Bye. It was a tongue thing, but I've never seen the tongue from face to face. So it just looked like he was throwing up. Sorry. I'm sorry to make retching sounds. I gotta go. I'm going. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. Bye. Bye.